Hello and welcome to Trial TV Live. I am the Squeegee of Justice. Thank you so much for joining us today as we have a day off, actually 2 days off from the Washington versus Ali and Ali. There is a stream that's scheduled. Hold on, I got a browser window open. Here we go, hold on. So there might be jury instructions for Ali. It might be streamed. If it is, we'll pick up on it. Not tomorrow because we're going to do Lori Vallow, Lori Daybell, I should say. So we might do it like on over the weekend, I guess. So anyway, so we're filling. So today we're going to do Scott Nelson. So this is out of Florida. And for those that are familiar with trials out of Florida, you may recognize the courtroom once we get there. So let me see who is with us today. Sorry. So this is part of our continuing series when we're off. We have off days. It's called The Ego Takes the Stand. So, just seeing who's with us. Benny Dawn, Queen Ruthann, Jeff, how are you? Ed Ginn, good to see you. Shirley, Melanie, Fur Baby's mom, good to see you. And Tammy, Vice, hey all, woo, this case trial was wild. This guy is wacko. Yeah, that's why we went with it. Hey, Richard, how are you? Richard, I went to the post office today, and I didn't. There was nothing from you. I just want to let you know that there was nothing. I just want to let you know that because I think you said your gift said it had delivered. So okay. So Richard says Court TV this morning. It says live in 3 days. Okay, good. Yeah, because they're doing jury instructions today, meaning they're hammering out the jury instructions. So. Hey, Jen, how are you? From Orlando, and that's where this case takes place. Brenda, how are you? Good to see you. Jojo, you're reading the description. This looks like an interesting case. Going to want to look more into it after. Thanks for bringing this to your attention. No problem. Hey, Brat, how are you? Angela and Susie, konnichiwa. Nice, Angela. Gina, good to see you. Hold up. Could people please stop calling their children Keith White? I know lots of guys called Keith White. There's just no need. Funny. Okay, just check tracking this morning. It has shipped, still show. Okay, 818. Okay, thank you, Richard. Appreciate that. All right, appreciate that. All right, so I have to pick up Paulie at 4. So I want to, this is going to be about 3.5 hours or so, depending on how much I talk. So I want to get through this a little bit quickly so I can get out of here and pick up Paulie at 4. All right, so this is Florida versus Scott Nelson. The date of the incident was September 27th, 2017, and this is part of our new series, our ongoing series called The Ego Takes the Stand. If you missed the first one we did, this is our second one. If you missed the first one, that was with Robert Tellis out of Nevada. So this one is out of Florida. So the charges are first-degree M, kidnapping with a weapon, burglary of a dwelling with an assault, grand theft of a motor vehicle, grand theft of a person over 65. Additional charges are life in prison for kidnapping with a weapon, life in prison for burglary with an assault, 15 years for grand theft of a motor vehicle, 15 years for grand theft from a person over 65. Richard says it's coming from China. Okay, no problem. Next series should be Divas. Nice. All right, so the judge is Keith White. The prosecutors are Robin Wilkinson and Rick Ridgway, and the defense are public defenders. It's Robert Wesley, Blaze Tredis, and Chelsea Simmons. Hey, Sharon, thank you for joining us. All right, so on September 27th of 2017, Jennifer Fulford failed to pick up her employer's child from school, so she's a nanny. Authorities later discovered that she had been abducted from her home where she worked. Her body was found days later in a wooded area in Ormond Beach, Florida. She had been bound with zip ties, stabbed multiple times, and buried under palm fronds. All right. So as I said at the top of the stream here, I have to pick up Polly. She went through surgery. Everything was successful. So I have to pick her up at 4. So we're starting. We were going to start this at 12 and go to about 4:30, but I'm starting a little bit early so I can get out of here and go pick up Polly. All right, so let's get into this. I'm going to start with a couple news clips, and then we'll get to the actual. It's going to be he takes the stand, and then we'll take it from there.
Right now, police are searching for a missing woman. They say she disappeared under suspicious circumstances.
The mother of 2 and grandmother has been missing since yesterday, and her family is worried.
Yeah, News 6's Matt Petrillo joins us now live from Winter Park Police Headquarters. And Matt, this woman works as a nanny, but she failed to pick up the kids from school.
That's right. She worked as a nanny for 6 years, and that was the first appointment she'd ever miss in those 6 years. Now, we were just at Winter Park Police talking to authorities about what they could tell us. They say right now that they are meeting, discussing what they could release. So we just arrived back at the home where she worked as a nanny, and we saw investigators go in and out of the home all day. Detectives with Winter Park Police collected evidence from this home here on Webster Avenue this afternoon. It's where personal items belonging to 56-year-old Jennifer Fulford of Altamont Springs were left yesterday while she was supposed to be working her nanny job. Instead, Winter Park Police say Fulford is missing under what they're calling suspicious circumstances. Fulford's family tells News 6 she was supposed to pick up her client's son at school yesterday, but she never did. And when her client went to his home to see what Fulford was doing, she was nowhere to be found. All that was left was her purse on the bathroom floor. She, along with her wallet, car, and cell phone, were all missing.
It's really concerning because obviously she's very trustworthy and would be here if she at all possibly could.
Neighbors in this part of Winter Park are worried about not knowing what happened to Fulford and if it could have happened to them.
Very peaceful, quiet. The police station is only like 3 or 4 blocks from here.
Jennifer Fulford is about 5'6", with strawberry blonde hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information is asked to call Winter Park Police or Crime Line.
It's really concerning.
And Winter Park Police say that Fulford was last heard from around 11:40 yesterday morning. And we're just learning that $300, the most allowed, was withdrawn from her Wells Fargo bank account shortly after that. So for 5 o'clock, we're working to find out if the bank security cameras captured Fulford or someone else. Lisa?
Very concerning. Hope she is found safe soon. Matt Petrillo reporting live for us tonight. Thank you. Now, to share this story and get the word out, head to our website, clickorlando.com. You will find a full article on our homepage.
All right, so that's when she initially went missing. All right, so she initially went missing. Now let's get to the next news clip. All right, so this is the next news clip. So I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit of a background, right? So we're sort of developing the story here, giving some background, and not a typical Winter Park home, like I remember. Jojo says. Yeah, hold on a sec. I can pull this down a little bit. Pull it down there. All right, so this is the next news clip. So we're developing the story.
What's left behind is her empty purse. The woman vanished while in the middle of her job in Winter Park. This is News 6 at 6. I'm Lisa Bell.
And I'm Julie Broughton in for Matt Austin tonight. Her disappearance is considered suspicious. And we just got this video into the newsroom. It shows Jennifer Fulford leaving the dentist office in Winter Park yesterday morning, getting into her car and driving away. This was the last time she was seen. News 6's Matt Petrillo is live now in Winter Park. And Matt, you talked to her husband today.
Yeah, that's right. Robert Fulford was very emotional today. He says he truly loves his wife. He calls her his best friend, and he is pleading for her safe return.
It's not like her to just disappear.
Robert Fulford isn't just fighting through tears to talk to us, he is fighting to get the word out about his wife, 56-year-old Jennifer Fulford of Altamont Springs, who went missing sometime yesterday.
I love her and I miss her and I desperately want her back.
Winter Park police say Fulford was last heard from just before noon yesterday in the middle of her nanny job. She worked at this home on Webster Avenue in Winter Park, where today we saw authorities collecting evidence. Mr. Fulford says his wife's purse was found on the bathroom floor here, but her car, wallet, and cell phone were all gone.
I tried to pull up her phone on Find My Friends, and it just said, could not be found. The phone is offline.
Fulford's disappearance is also a concern to neighbors here because the home where she worked is less than a half-mile from Winter Park Police headquarters.
It's very scary because, I live right down the road here. I'm in this neighborhood.
Meanwhile, Mr. Fulford says his wife was supposed to fly to Dallas tonight to see her first granddaughter just born yesterday, the same day she went missing.
She was very excited about it, and she would not just fall off the face of the planet.
And authorities ask if you've seen Jennifer Fulford to call Winter Park Police or Crime Line. Lisa?
Matt Petrillo reporting.
All right, so now they're again just developing the background here. So they saw the surveillance video, I should say, and that's the husband of Fulford and Jennifer Fulford. So let's go to our next news clip here. This is I have it titled Autopsy. So let's see what I guess they released an autopsy. Let's see what they have to say here. And after I get through these news clips, I will we'll play him on the stand because it's wild.
So many unanswered questions tonight about the murder of a caretaker who went missing in Winter Park. Tonight, News 6 has learned the medical examiner has completed its autopsy on Jennifer Fulford's body. But as News 6's Matt Petrillo shows us, the details of how she died are being kept under wraps.
Well, the Orange County Coroner's Office says it cannot yet release the manner or cause of Jennifer Fulford's death, and that's because the Winter Park Police Department is still investigating her homicide. Tonight, many people in her community are still mourning.
Oh, she will be missed.
Many people who live in this Altamont Springs community are thinking of their neighbor and friend, Jennifer Fulford. She was found dead over the weekend in a wooded area near Apopka Vineland Road just a few days after she was reported missing to Winter Park Police.
That's just a terrible thing to have happen. So we're really sad about it.
Authorities have not released the details around Fulford's death, but her friends are remembering her life as someone who always thought of others, whether she was making soup for a sick neighbor or watching a friend's dog during Hurricane Irma.
And she was just a good person, one of these people that you feel like it was an honor to know, and that she's gone is just almost unfathomable. It's very hard.
Police believe Fulford's homicide is random and that 53-year-old Scott Nelson may be involved. Nelson was captured on surveillance video using Fulford's debit card on Wednesday, the same day she went missing. Then Nelson was found by police in Jacksonville, where he traveled to by train and was staying in a motel, all of which he paid for using cash.
And it looks really bad for him.
News 6 legal analyst Steve Kramer says the police investigation against Nelson is looking strong.
Maybe he's got a good explanation for that. And if he does, as his defense attorney, that's what I'd be looking at, is going ahead and explaining some of these actions.
And Scott Nelson has not faced any charges related to Fulford's homicide, but he is in custody on a parole violation. In Orange County, Matt Petrillo, News 6.
Oh, so they got him for a parole violation. So that's how they got him. Yeah, he's like a what do you call it? What's the word? A criminal that repeats constantly. Somebody who's a repeat felon, I guess. Repeat criminal. Career. That's the word I'm looking for. He's a career criminal. All right. So next up is this is him being booked and arrested. So they got him on a parole violation. Let's see.
Well,
Sorry. Okay. Got it. Okay. Got it. My lips. Hey, Irish Amy, how are you? Sorry about that. I didn't have myself. All right. Are we good now? Sorry about that, guys. Let me just double check. Okay. All right. So Ali is live right now. So we will, they're doing the jury instructions, if you will, the charging documents and all that stuff. So maybe we'll stream that over the weekend. How about that? We'll stream that over the weekend. Because tomorrow is Ori Daybell sentencing. So we definitely want to cover that. All right, so let's get to this is him being booked and arrested.
Well, the man suspected of being involved in the death of a Winter Park caretaker is now in federal custody. Scott Nelson was arrested on Sunday in Jacksonville, but investigators are not releasing where he was booked. News 6's Matt Petrillo went digging for answers at the federal courthouse in Orlando today. And Matt, why won't authorities release Nelson's location?
Well, that's because Scott Nelson is under the custody of the U.S. Marshals Service, and marshals do not reveal the location of their inmates. What we do know is Nelson faced a federal judge yesterday who granted him a public defender. 53-year-old Scott Nelson was paroled from prison a few months ago after serving 5 years for a bank robbery charge. Now he's behind bars again. In federal court in Jacksonville yesterday afternoon, prosecutors wrote in a filing the convicted felon violated his parole. The filing does not disclose how, but what authorities did say to News 6 is they're holding Nelson without bond while Winter Park police process troves of evidence related to a homicide Nelson is believed to be involved in.
You've got a variety of crime scenes, you've got a ton of evidence, and they want to get that all together. They want to get that all organized.
Winter Park police suspect Nelson is behind the death of 56-year-old Jennifer Fulford of Altamont Springs. Fulford worked as a caretaker at a home in Winter Park and was reported missing Wednesday. That's also when police say Nelson was spotted on security cameras using Fulford's debit card at a Winter Park bank. Then on Saturday, Fulford's body was found dumped in a wooded area near Apopka Vineland Road in Orange County. Police called Nelson a suspect in Fulford's homicide, but have not yet charged Nelson with any offenses related to Fulford's death or disappearance.
They're in no rush. They have no statute of limitations on a capital felony on a first-degree murder charge. They don't have any danger of not bringing the accused to a speedy trial, and that means they can take their time and get this right.
And today we also learned the coroner finished his examination on Jennifer Fulford's body. Tonight on News 6 at 7, we're working to find out how she died. Lisa?
Matt Petrillo reporting live for us tonight. Thank you.
All right, so they didn't know each other. They caught him. He was using her debit card, so they got that, and then they caught him on a parole violation. So that's how that sorted out. So they did not know each other. All right, so one last news clip here, and then we can get started on the actual trial. Again, I'm just trying to set up the. So Hulk Hogan, that was a rumor. Has he passed away or no? Let's look it up. Hulk Hogan, is he still around? Reacts to rumors. All right, seems like he's still around. That was 1 day ago. Twitter is saying it, but 4 minutes ago, found dead in Florida home. All right. Cardiac arrest, 71. Suffering a cardiac arrest. So 4 news stations, Economic Times, The Sun, Mint, and Investing Times, South Africa. They're all reporting it. Seems like it. You got 4 news stations are reporting it. So hey Capri Law, how are you? What's his MO? Let's see, never heard of this case. This should be fun. Super Kelly G. Yep. Strolling up to the ATM like he was withdrawing his own money, right, Dustin? Capri, good to see you. There was no motive. It's going to come out that he just had this. Well, I'm not going to spoil anything. Let's just watch this. But yeah, it looks like looks like Hulk Hogan has passed. So anyway, I'm sure we'll see more news reports, but right now there's 4. Oh, the Mirror is saying it. TMZ is saying it. Yahoo is saying it. Oh no, that's rumors. That was a day ago. All right. So it looks like Hulk has. Why would a news station in South Africa be reporting it before local? I don't know. All right. Okay. So let's get to this last one. This is the story, or my headline says opening statements about to begin. So this is going to be one more news clip before we get to the actual trial. Oh, and Paulie made it through surgery. We got a call about a half hour ago. That's why we're going a little bit early. We had the schedule for noon, but we got a call, and they want me to pick her up at 4. So, yeah, if TMZ reports it, then you know it's legit, Herviel says. Totally. I know, right? Yeah, they're going to have a fit without Mama around. I know, right? He had a heart attack after surgery a few days ago. Okay. So a second heart attack. I got you. Wait, hold on. So he had a second heart attack. Well, what did they say, right? These things come in threes. Malcolm Jamal Warner, Ozzy Osbourne, and now Hulk Hogan. So yes, Paulie made it through. Everything's cool. All right, let's get to this last news clip, and then we can get to the trial.
In just hours, opening statements will begin in the trial of a man accused of kidnapping and killing a caretaker in Winter Park. Scott Nelson faces the death penalty in the 2017 death of Jennifer Fulford. Ezzy Castro is live at the Orange County Courthouse for us this morning. And Ezzy, this trial is expected to last for a few weeks.
About 3 weeks, Justin, and today the state attorney's office and Nelson's defense team will share their side of the story in front of 12 selected jurors and 3 alternates.
Opening statements in the murder trial of Scott Nelson are set to begin in just a couple of hours. The 55-year-old is accused of kidnapping and killing Jennifer Fulford on September 20th, 2017. She was from Altamont Springs, but worked as a caretaker for a family in Winter Park. That's where police think she was abducted. Her body was found days later in West Orange County. Opening statements come after 2 weeks of jury selection, and on Friday, the state and defense sat a 12-person jury for the trial.
Right seat 26, juror 2. Right seat 47, juror 2268.
Lawyers from both sides spent time questioning potential jurors, asking what they thought about the legal system and if they knew anyone connected to it.
I guess the good news is we are almost to the end of the voir dire process.
Nelson's trial has been delayed for months after his lawyers questioned his competency. But in April, a judge found him competent to stand trial. The 55-year-old even sent letters to the judge confessing to unsolved bank robberies and 8 homicides. In this case, though, he pleaded not guilty. If convicted, he could face the death penalty.
And opening statements are set to begin at 9 o'clock here at the Orange County Courthouse. We will be here for that and give you all those updates starting at News 6 at noon. But for now, live in downtown Orlando, Ezzy Castro getting results, News 6.
All right, well, I recognize that courthouse. So I'm for those that follow the channel and or just follow true crime, you guys will definitely recognize the courtroom. If you don't recognize the courthouse, you will definitely recognize the courtroom. All right. Yes, Paulie got a call about 45 minutes ago. Paulie made it through surgery. Everything's cool. I have to go pick her up at 4. So that's why we're going to, we're starting a little bit early so I can get out of here. Paulie is fine. Everything's fine with her. So Vice, yeah, good replay. Yeah, Erin actually found this one. She found this one I think I'm dreading. Yeah, she found this one I'm dreading. Jojo says, I'm racking my brain trying to figure out why his face looks so familiar. Probably, this is 2017. I'm sure maybe you saw it. Maybe you saw it back then. I don't know. All right, let's get to it. Yay for Paulie. Yes. Paulie made it through and kittens seem to be fine. No worries there. No problems with them. Everybody's cool. All right, so here's the state opening statements. Let's get to state opening statements. All right.
right, Ms. Hicks, is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Law, defense.
All right, here we go.
However, at this time, we would ask that the rule of sequestration be invoked.
Mr. Nelson, you ready to proceed, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. The rule of sequestration has been invoked, so anyone who is a potential witness in this case, if you are in the courtroom, you need to exit the courtroom until you are called by your respective attorneys. To the extent there are witnesses who are not present, I'll leave it to the attorneys to explain to their witnesses that the rule has been invoked and the consequences for violating the rule.
And Judge, for the record, Robert Fulford is in the courtroom right now. He is considered a homicide survivor and has the right to be in the courtroom site after he calls for his trial.
Mr. Lahr?
Yes, sir. As that is provided under the Florida statute.
All right. Ms. Hicks, other than the person you just identified, are there any other witnesses who do not have the right to remain for the state?
I don't believe so.
Mr. Lahr, any defense witnesses other than potentially your client who are present in the courtroom and who do not have a right to remain?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
The second thing is, in reference to the confession and the open statement, we would ask that they not refer to any specific large confession, the objection to it, on motion, and denied, or to preserve our right to confession.
Okay. All right, so Ms. Hicks, is the state ready to bring in the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lahr, defense, ready to bring in the jury?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Nelson, are you ready to bring in the jury?
Yes, Your Honor. We just ask everybody to remain seated.
Correct. All right, please bring in the jury. Please be seated. Good morning, members of the jury.
Good morning.
Ms. Hicks, does the state acknowledge the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lahr, defense.
We do, Your Honor.
Mr. Nelson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Members of the jury, I apologize for the delay. We had various issues with some of the courtroom and courthouse equipment that delayed our start today. So again, I apologize for the delay. Ms. Hicks, opening statement for the state.
Yes, Your Honor. Her name was Jennifer Fulford. When her body was found 3 days after she went missing, she was face down in a field, vacant lot, with grass all around her. Her ankles were bound together with duct tape. Her wrists were bound together behind her with a zip tie. When they turned her over to transport her to the medical examiner's office, they saw that she had duct tape wrapped around her entire head. It covered her face from her chin to her eyebrows. She would not have been able to see. More importantly, she would not have been able to breathe. She had 2 superficial stab wounds to her back. They would not have killed her. But she had 5 penetrating stab wounds to her chest, 2 of which directly pierced her heart. A knife was located in the field not far from her body. It had a rather unique handle. It had a blade capable of causing stab wounds to her body. And most importantly, it had her DNA on it. The medical examiner will tell you that one of 2 things, possibly a combination of both, caused her death. 1, the stab wounds. She would have bled to death. 2, asphyxiation. The duct tape was so tight against her nose and her mouth, she couldn't breathe and she would have suffocated to death. During the course of this trial, you will hear that Jennifer Fulford, who was married, she and her husband lived in Altamont Springs, and she worked for a man named Reed Berman, a wealthy businessman who lived in a very nice house in Winter Park. She had worked for him for a little over 6 years as a house manager and as a nanny to his 2 children. You will hear that on the morning of September 27th of 2017, she got up, said goodbye to her husband, and went to work. She got to Mr. Berman's house a little before 7 o'clock that morning. She let herself in, as she always did. She went upstairs and she got Oliver, Mr. Berman's son. She woke him up, got him ready for school, and a little after 7 o'clock, Oliver and Jennifer left so she could take him to school at Lake Highland. She took him to school, dropped him off, and came back to the house. She saw Mr. Berman off to work at about 8:30, and she left shortly thereafter to go to a dentist appointment. Normal dentist appointment that she had planned for some time. She went to her dentist appointment, and you will hear how it was a normal dentist appointment, nothing out of the ordinary. The owner of the dentist's office will tell you that she saw Jennifer. Jennifer was in good spirits, and when she left, everything seemed fine. The owner of the dentist's office was the last person to see Jennifer Fulford alive. The last person, except of course, as the evidence will show, for the man who put the duct tape around her ankles and the zip ties on her wrists. The alarm records from the Fulford house support that Jennifer got home from the dentist no problem. While she was on the way home from the dentist's office, she made a phone call. She called a woman named Janet Grimm. Janet Grimm is an art lady. She owns an art business in Winter Park, and she was scheduled to come to the Berman house that afternoon to do some work on the art in the house. And the day before, on September 26th, Jennifer and Janet had worked out that Jennifer would call Janet when she was leaving the dentist's office to tell her, I'll be home in about 10 minutes and you can come on over to do the work. Everything went according to plan. Jennifer called Janet, actually left her a voicemail. Jennifer got home, as the alarm records would show, and she was in the house for some period of time doing her housework. The evidence will show that at 11:30, a FedEx package was delivered. It was expected. It was left on the front step. It contained the bacon of the month club bacon, something that needed to be refrigerated. The evidence will show that shortly after the FedEx package was delivered, the front doors of the Berman residence opened and closed. Shortly thereafter, Jennifer Fulford made her last phone call. She made a phone call to Janet Grimm. Despite the phone call she had made earlier telling Janet to come on over, this time she was panicked. And she told Jennifer, I've got a call from the school. Something has happened to Oliver. I have to go get him. Don't come over. Janet Grimm was the last person to hear Jennifer Fulford's voice. The last person, except of course, for the man who put the duct tape over her eyes and mouth. show that nothing was wrong with Oliver at school. The school hadn't called, Jennifer didn't have to go pick him up. He was fine. He was fine up until about 3:15 in the afternoon when his nanny did not show up to pick him up as she was scheduled to do. And that was the first suggestion that anything was wrong with Jennifer. When nobody came to pick Oliver up from school, the school called his parents, reached out to his parents, and his father ultimately came to the school to pick him up. His father, Mr. Berman, will tell you that that was completely out of the ordinary. In the over 6 years that Jennifer had been nanny to his children, she had never once failed him. She had never once failed to take care of his children. It caused him concern. He made phone calls, tried to reach out to her. No luck contacting her. So he went to the school, picked up his son, took his son home. When he got home, there wasn't really much amiss in his house. He did, however, find Jennifer's purse inside the house, and he found the FedEx package near the front door. Now he was concerned because the thing that wasn't in the house was Jennifer. He searched, he made phone calls, he tried to call her husband at work. He tried to call hospitals to see if maybe she had had some sort of emergency, maybe she'd been in a car accident. Ultimately, he called the Winter Park Police Department to report her missing. And with that phone call, it initiated a missing persons investigation into Jennifer Fulford's disappearance. Law enforcement met with Mr. Berman, they met with Mr. Fulford, and the investigation actually moved kind of quickly. Because law enforcement very quickly learned that someone had used Jennifer Fulford's ATM card at 12:10 on September 27th. About 40 minutes after the front door opened and closed. The man who had used her ATM card at the ATM, Wells Fargo in Winter Park, was wearing a white t-shirt. He had a white towel around his neck, and he was wearing a watch with a rather unique plaid band. Nobody knew this man, so the investigation continued. With the help of Robert Fulford, law enforcement was able to track her car through an OnStar-like system. And Jennifer's car was found on September 28th, the very next day, in a Publix parking lot. The Publix located at the intersection of Colonial Drive and Shine Avenue, just outside of downtown Orlando. And then, of course, the discovery of Jennifer on September 30th of 2017, face down in a vacant field off of Hopkins Island over near Disney. Her cell phone was never recovered, but law enforcement was able to use information from her cell phone company and cell phone towers to track her body to that location. Jennifer Fulford's timeline ended on September 30th of 2017 with the discovery of her body. With the discovery of her body, the investigation changed from a missing persons investigation to an investigation into her death. The defendant was very quickly identified as the man in the ATM photo, the man wearing the white t-shirt, the towel, and the watch. And he was arrested in Jacksonville, Florida, on October 1st of 2017. But the defendant's defendant's timeline as it relates to this case doesn't begin on October 1st. It doesn't even begin on September 27th, the day she went missing. It actually begins on September 16th of 2017, 11 days prior to the day Jennifer was taken. Because you see, on that day, you will see a video of the defendant going into a Walmart here in Orlando. He bought a number of items. He bought a hat that said UCF on it. He bought a pair of bright blue tennis shoes. He bought duct tape. He bought zip ties. And most importantly, he premeditatedly bought a knife that perfectly matched the knife that was located in the fields not far from Jennifer's body. You will see video of the defendant on September 27th using the ATM in the Wells Fargo ATM in Winter Park at 12:10. Getting $300 out of Jennifer Fulford's bank account. You will also see the defendant at a little after 3 o'clock in the afternoon that day, walking into the Publix, located at the intersection of Colonial and Shine, where the victim's car was found in the parking lot. You will see that he goes in and he comes out less than 20 minutes later. It's easy to spot him. He's wearing bright blue tennis shoes. When he comes out of that Publix, he goes across the street, across Colonial, and he goes to the bus stop. You will see him board a Lynx bus at Colonial across the street from the Publix, and he rides that Lynx bus down here to downtown Orlando at Central Station. You will then see him change buses. He gets on a bus at Central Station and he goes back to Winter Park. You will then see video of him again using the ATM machine at the Wells Fargo Bank in Winter Park. He's wearing a UCF hat, but he doesn't have the white t-shirt on anymore. He doesn't have the white towel anymore. He doesn't have a watch anymore. From the ATM, you will see him walk into the Amtrak train station located across the street. He goes in, he buys a train ticket to Jacksonville. He spends some time in the Amtrak train station. And then he decides to go to the 7-Eleven located in Winter Park and buy a pizza. He enjoys his pizza walking back to the Amtrak train station. He then spends some time in the Amtrak train station because his train was delayed by a couple of hours. During that time, he takes off the shirt that he was wearing. He puts it into a bag, and he puts that bag into a trash can in the train station. He then boards his train, and you will see him get off the train at approximately 1:38 in the morning of September 28th up in Jacksonville. And finally, you will see video of him at 1:15 in the afternoon of September 29th, again using Jennifer Fulford's ATM card at a bank in Jacksonville. And as I mentioned, the defendant was arrested on October 1st up in Jacksonville. Several months after the defendant was arrested, he wrote a letter. He wrote a letter to law enforcement, and in that letter, he told law enforcement where to find the keys to Jennifer Fulford's car. They had never been discovered during the investigation. So law enforcement men went to the exact spot where the defendant said they would be, and there they were, in a bush, next to the bus stop, across the street from the Publix, where Jennifer's car was located. During the course of the investigation, as I mentioned, law enforcement found her car. In Jennifer's car, there were a number of items of evidence. Jennifer drove an SUV-like vehicle. And way in the back of the SUV, there was a bedspread, a king-size bedspread. It was actually a duvet with a duvet cover over it. And it was identified as having come from Reed Berman's master bedroom. There was also a beer bottle in the car, a single bottle of beer located in the center console next to the driver's seat. That beer bottle matched several other beer bottles that were found in Reed Berman's home. He had recently had a graduation party for his daughter. On that beer bottle was the defendant's DNA. In the car was a bag, a gym-like kind of bag. Inside that bag, law enforcement found a white t-shirt that matched the white t-shirt he was wearing in the first ATM video. They found a white towel that matched the white towel that was around his neck in the first ATM video. And they found a watch with a rather unique plaid band that matched the watch he was wearing in the first ATM video. The t-shirt, the towel, and the watch all had blood on them. There were 2 people's DNA found on those 3 items. Jennifer Fulford's and the defendant's. Ultimately, during the course of this investigation, law enforcement determined that 6 things were taken from Reed Berman's home. A wealthy man who had a lot of very nice things that could have been taken. There were only 6 things that were taken from his home. 1, the comforter from his bed located in the back of Jennifer Fulford's car. 2, a bottle of beer found in the center console with the defendant's DNA. Jennifer Fulford's car keys found right where the defendant said they would be. Jennifer Fulford's cell phone, never located, but used to locate her. Jennifer Fulford's ATM card, used multiple times by the defendant after she went missing. And finally, the last thing that was taken from Reed Berman's home that day was Jennifer Fulford herself. Found in the field, bound with the duct tape that he bought, the zip ties that he bought, and stabbed with the knife that he bought. Once the state has presented its case to you, there will be no doubt that this man went into Reed Berman's home, committing a burglary of a dwelling. He kidnapped her, he carjacked her, he robbed her, and lastly, her name was Jennifer Fulford, and he is guilty of her first-degree murder.
Mr. Lahr, opening statement for the defense.
Morning. In Washington, D.C., there's a building, and it's called the National Archives. If you go into the National Archives, you'll notice that there are a bunch of documents that are really important in our nation's history. Declaration of Independence, the Magna Carta. You'll also see the Bill of Rights. And the Bill of Rights, if you looked at it, you'll notice that it's kind of old and fragile looking, and that the writing's faded. But what's interesting is while this document is old and faded, that the principles that were espoused in that document stand strong today, particularly the right to be tried by a fair and impartial jury. Over 200 years ago, our founding fathers recognized that in order for us to maintain our freedom, that we could only do that if we were able to, again, give that right to a fair and just trial for everyone who's been accused of a trial. And the only way that that's done is to go through the thought and the principle that every person is presumed innocent until and unless the state proves that beyond all reasonable doubt. Now, we began this case 2 weeks ago with Judge White starting off the trial, saying in the United States and the great state of Florida, a trial by jury is fundamental to our system of justice. Without people like you, our jury system would fail. And other than voting, serving on the jury is actually the most important opportunity that citizens get to participate in the democratic process. Now, you know, we've picked this jury after 2 long weeks, and I'm sure there were a number of you very frustrated sitting in the back waiting to come in. It was a very long and tedious and laborious process. But it's something that we have to undertake. It's the process we undertake in order to make sure that we arrive at a fair and impartial jury. And there is one thing everyone on this side of that bar know at this point. You were selected because we believe that you would be fair and impartial. And that means, of course, being fair and impartial, that you will follow the law. And that would mean that you have to make sure that the state proves this case beyond all reasonable doubt. He is not guilty unless you all find that that the state has proven this beyond all reasonable doubt. And why do we do that? Because, again, we're a nation of laws, and we all agree to follow that. So, again, the state has to bring that evidence. So how are you going to make that determination? Well, the way you're going to make that determination is by listening to what you hear from this spot right here. Nowhere else are you going to hear any evidence in this case except from right here. And that's where you got to derive it from. What I ask you to do is this. As you are hearing witnesses, listen very closely to what they tell you. You all have the opportunity to have notebooks, to write notes down. To be able to determine what things were important to you in making that determination. After the state asks the questions, we get the opportunity to do a cross-examination. Again, listen very closely to those things, because that's where you're going to make the ultimate determination whether or not the state has proven the case beyond all reasonable doubt. So as you're listening to these things, and we'll eventually later come before you to explain why he should be found guilty or not guilty. I would ask you just to pay very close attention to what you hear. Listen to consistencies, inconsistencies, and those things. Because if you follow the instructions of the law as it's set out, then the process that our founding fathers set up 200 years ago will be fulfilled. And that will make this country great. We have followed these rules, and we sit there and we agree to follow those rules.
All right, so those are the states and the defense opening statements. So now we get to him taking the stand. So this is the moment we've all been waiting for, right? So here we go. It's just under 2 hours. So this is This is the whole point of our series. Now we've done the whole build up. We've done the backstory. So now we get to him taking the stand. Let's see. You guys got any questions? Yeah, I know, Woker, we saw. Yep. Let me pull it over here. Yep. Hulk is gone. Right? Don't they say it happens in threes, right? So we had Jamal Warner, what's his name? Oh, Jesus. Jamal Walker Warner. And then Ozzy. And now, yeah. Let's see. Mama C, are there any trials next week? Yeah, we have Washington versus Ali. They're coming back. They're doing their jury instructions, charging, all that stuff today. They are live right now, but I have to go pick up Paulie at 4 o'clock, so we didn't want to get involved with the jury instructions. So we're going to stream that tomorrow. We'll take whatever they did today and we'll stream it tomorrow. So we'll have a Saturday stream for you guys. I'm sorry. Saturday, yeah. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow is Lori Daybell. So tomorrow we're going to cover Lori Daybell. They're off tomorrow. They're on right now. They're just going through the jury instructions right now, charging documents, all that stuff. So we'll have a Saturday stream for you. So we'll catch up on that on Saturday. And then Monday they will be live. That's going to be closing arguments and verdict. We'll be in a verdict watch by Monday night into Tuesday. So Mama C, that's what's going on next week. Carlos, Aaron's recording Carlos right now. They're debating, or I guess they're having a pre-trial hearing to see if he's going to go back through court. So yeah. So we've got a lot of things going on next week. All right, here we go. He's going to take the stand. The ego takes the stand. I'm so glad you guys appreciate this. We got 248 people watching. I really appreciate that, you guys. Thank you so much.
We've now had...
Rewind this. Okay, here we go.
CF 15684, State v. Nelson. Mr. Nelson, you're going to be sworn in.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? No, you got it.
I do.
Sir, please state your full name and date of birth.
Scott Edward Nelson, February 28, 1964.
Thank you. Mr. Lars, the defense ready to proceed?
Yes.
Hold on. Ms. Berg, stay ready to proceed.
Yes.
Mr. Nelson, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Lars, go ahead.
We have talked with Mr. Nelson about his right to testify. He has an absolute right to testify, and we have provided the case of football. We have talked to him, and his decision at this point, from my understanding, is that he wishes to take a stand in his defense. And my understanding also, upon talking with the state, and we've come to a mutual agreement that there are 3 prior felonies.
I'm sorry, Mr. Lard, you say by the state and the defense agree that there are 3 prior felony convictions?
That is correct.
And do the parties agree that there are no convictions of a misdemeanor involving false statement or dishonesty beyond the felonies?
I'm sorry, what was the court's question specifically?
With respect to misdemeanors involving crimes of dishonesty or false statement, are they an issue at all
We don't have
for impeachment purposes?
The question that was asked of us is how many do we have? Not necessarily how many convictions does he have. So Mr. Nunley, who is handling aspects of the penalty phase, indicates we have 3 felony convictions, judge sentences available.
Because my question is, do the parties agree then that if Mr. Nelson takes the stand and inquiry is made into prior convictions, the only appropriate question is how many felony convictions you have?
Correct.
And the answer would be 3.
Whether that's the truth or not is another matter. We have 3 that we can impeach him with, is what we're agreeing to.
I need to engage in a colloquy with Mr. Nelson, and so does the state agree that if he answers 3 to that question, that that is a truthful question and would not allow the state to introduce more than 3 into evidence to the jury in this part of the trial?
I'm not trying to be coy. We have only 3, to my knowledge, that we could impeach him with today. If he knows he has 6, he has to answer 6. But we can only impeach him with 3.
You know, I would just say most times my clients are very poor historians, and so that's important. And I don't want to answer to the best of my knowledge 3 because that doesn't insinuate more. So that's why I told him, you know, we talked about it. If he doesn't remember how many JNSs we have.
All right, Mr. Lars, setting aside whether your client testifies, is there any other evidence that the defense intends to present as part of a defense case? I mean, no other witnesses, no other evidence to be presented during the defense case?
That's right, I misunderstood. No, he will be our only witness.
Okay. Mr. Nelson.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that your attorneys who are seated at or about counsel table, those are the people who you can talk with about getting legal advice. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you understand the court cannot and will not give you legal advice?
I understand that.
Okay. However, I do need to talk with you about some things. My questions that I ask, anything that occurs during our conversation, do you understand that is not legal advice?
I understand that.
Okay. However, do you understand that one of my jobs is, and specifically with respect to your right to testify, is to satisfy myself that you are making a knowing and intelligent decision if you choose to take the stand, that is your knowing and intelligent decision that you have made.
That's correct.
And that is the purpose of my questioning. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. You need to talk with your attorneys about anything I just said before I actually start talking with you.
I'm satisfied with what we've already talked about.
Okay. Sir, do you recall the last day of jury selection when I read to the prospective jurors the instruction regarding beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
So you understand it's the state's burden to prove each and every element of each and every charge beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
You understand you don't have an obligation to prove or disprove anything?
That's correct.
Do you recall that last day of jury selection when I read an instruction that states exactly that you don't have an obligation to prove or disprove anything? You have the right to remain silent, and they can't hold that against you. Do you recall, and I'm summarizing, but do you recall that instruction?
I remember it very well.
So do you understand that you may choose not to testify? You can choose not to take the witness stand, and you understand I will read that instruction again to the jury along with all the other instructions in this case.
That's correct.
Do you understand that since you are on trial that you do have a constitutional right to take the stand and testify in your case?
I'm aware of that, yes, sir.
Do you understand that if you choose to exercise that right to testify, that I will not give the instruction that I previously discussed with you about your right to remain silent and they can't hold that against you, in essence? That will not be given. Do you understand that? Yes. Do you understand that instead the instruction regarding weighing the evidence and credibility of witnesses, that the defendant will be referenced and the jury will be instructed that they are to treat your testimony like the testimony of any other witness?
Yes.
Okay. And do you understand that by any other witness, that means treated as any other person in the same circumstances that you are in? Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you understand, since there's been already, did you hear the discussion about the agreement between the parties that you have 3 prior felony convictions?
I heard that, yes.
And that the state is stating, in essence, did you hear what Ms. Burdick stated?
Yes, that if she's aware of 3, she's willing to go with 3, but if I should know of more, then it would be up to me to be forthcoming with that information.
So do you understand that at a later time, if additional felony convictions are discovered, that may be brought into the case at some point?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you understand that, well, let's step back for just a moment. Your attorney has told me that other than yourself, they don't intend to present any other witnesses or evidence as part of the defense case.
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand that you can choose not to testify, but you can present other evidence? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Mr. Lahr has stated that there is no other evidence to be presented other than perhaps your testimony. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay. Are you aware of any other evidence that could be presented in your case? When by evidence, I mean anything whatsoever. A witness, a photograph, DNA, an audio recording, a video recording, anything whatsoever that could be presented.
I believe there is, Your Honor. It's just that, I'm satisfied with just going up and stating a couple of facts that have been void in the trial to this point.
But what evidence are you aware of that you think, are you saying there's other evidence you think should be presented but can't?
I'd have to speak to my attorneys about that briefly.
Why don't you do that?
I'm clear on that now, Your Honor. I don't believe that there is any more physical evidence beyond what has already been presented. It's just that there are a few facts that I would like to bring to light before the jury.
And I understand your statement about your belief regarding there be no physical evidence, but what about other witnesses? Are you aware of some other witness who could be called to testify as part of the defense case? Yes?
The answer to your question, Your Honor, is no. There are no other witnesses and there is no other physical evidence.
Okay.
It's just my statement I would like to make.
All right. Do you understand that if the defense doesn't present any evidence, if you don't testify and you just rest with presenting no evidence, the state does not have the right to make a rebuttal case?
Yes.
Do you know what a rebuttal case is?
I'm familiar with the idea, yes.
Okay. So do you understand that if you choose to testify, that the state will have the ability to put on a rebuttal case to present rebuttal evidence to whatever you testify to?
Right.
You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand that if you choose to take the stand and testify, back up just a little bit. You've been sitting here throughout this entire trial, correct?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
And you've seen the way witness has been examined? So the state calls the witness, they do direct examination? Then there's cross-examination by one of your attorneys?
Yes.
Then there's redirect. Sometimes the state may choose not to do it and has chosen not to do it on certain times, but other times they have redirect examination. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So do you understand that same procedure would be followed with you if you take the stand?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand that you have the obligation, you'll be sworn in like every other witness?
That's correct.
Do you understand you'll have to tell the truth like every other witness? You understand you'll have to tell the truth both from questions by your attorneys as well as the attorneys from the state? Do you understand that either your attorneys or the state's attorneys or both could ask you whether you've ever been convicted of a felony?
I'm aware of that, yes.
You understand you must answer that question truthfully?
Yes.
And do you agree the truthful answer to that question is yes?
Yes.
Do you also understand that either the state attorneys or your attorneys or both can ask you after that question, how many times? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Meaning, how many times have you been convicted of a felony? Do you understand that? And do you understand at this point in time, the state's position is that the truthful answer is 3? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you agree with that?
No, it's 6.
Right. Have you talked with your attorneys about this discrepancy between the states showing 3 and you believing that it's 6?
That's correct.
You have talked with your attorneys about that?
Yes, I have.
So is the truthful answer to the question, if asked by your attorneys or the state attorneys of both, how many times have you been convicted of a felony? 6?
That's correct.
So you understand that's the answer if that question is asked that you have to give?
A total of three individual cases with an aggregate of 6 felonies.
Convictions?
Three convictions. Excuse me, Your Honor, 3 cases. 1 state, 2 federal, separate cases. All separate. 1 state, 2 federal, with a total aggregate of 6 felonies of those 3 cases.
6 felony convictions?
Yes. 1 in the first state, the second one was a total of 4, the federal, and the last one was 1 federal, total of 6.
Your Honor, could we have just a second?
Sure.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay. Defense, with respect to this discrepancy, have you looked into that issue as far as this number 6 that Mr. Nelson believes is the number of convictions for felonies?
No, Your Honor, we had not, no. But I think he's relating it to us, and I don't have any knowledge to count or discount it.
Your Honor, I assure you, 100% it is 6. There's no ambiguity. It's 6.
Okay.
It's truthful, honest, legit. I have 6.
All right.
I mean, I can name them right off the top of my head.
You don't need to do that, sir.
Yes, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
All right. Do you understand that if you do not answer truthfully, either the question of have you ever been convicted of a felony or the question of how many felony convictions do you have? If you do not answer those truthfully, as you've explained here in court what the truthful answers are, that the state will then have the right to introduce a certified copy of the record of the convictions that they have. And then the jury would also see the charge that you were convicted of.
Yes.
You understand, if you answer the questions truthfully, the state does not have the opportunity to introduce the certified copy of the record of the conviction.
I understand, Your Honor.
Do you understand that even if you answer those questions truthfully regarding your felony convictions, that one of the factors that the jury will be told that they can consider in weighing the credibility of any witness is whether the person testifying has been convicted of a felony?
Yes, Your Honor.
So do you understand that under Florida law, the fact that you have been convicted of a felony, that the jury has the right to disregard, disbelieve, reject everything you say?
Yes.
They're not required to, but you understand they can.
It's a potential.
You understand, like any other witness, the jury can reject some, all, or none of any of your testimony.
Yes.
Do you understand that the jury can choose to accept the testimony that helps the state's case and reject anything you say that may help your case?
Absolutely.
You understand, by taking the stand, you may actually help the state prove their case.
So be it.
You understand that if the jury finds that you are trying to mislead them, lie to them, be anything other than fully candid, not just by what you say, but how you act and your demeanor on the stand, that they can draw an inference of guilt from that?
I understand, and I'll act accordingly.
You also understand that once you have testified in this phase of the trial, this is evidence, and the same jury will be going into the penalty phase.
Yes, Your Honor.
So do you understand that your testimony here today, if you choose to testify, could also have a negative effect on the defense case in the penalty phase?
Yes.
And we can't go through all the possible effects because we're not in the penalty phase yet. But do you understand, for example, that to the extent other witnesses may rely upon statements that you make to them in rendering their testimony or opinion, that if the jury, because of you taking the stands, find you to lack credibility, they can use that as a basis to reject any other witness's testimony to the extent it relies on anything you said to them, including but not limited to expert opinions.
I understand that.
Has anyone forced, threatened, or coerced you into taking the stand in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Sir, do you understand? Well, step back for a moment. During the course of this proceeding, I've seen you engaging with, consulting with your lawyers. I'm obviously not privy to the conversations, but I've seen that happen. On certain occasions, sir, do you recall that I've asked you whether you agreed with certain decisions or statements by one or more of your lawyers?
Yes, I remember that.
Okay. And up to this point, there's been no disagreement. Do you understand that during the course of the trial, there could be certain decisions that are classified as strategic decisions, and those decisions are to be made by the lawyers in consultation with you?
Yes, sure.
And there hasn't been a disagreement, but do you understand that if there's a disagreement on a strategic decision, I'm going to look to one of your lawyers for the final answer on that?
Of course.
But do you understand that with respect to your constitutional right to testify and take the witness stand in this case, that is of such fundamental importance that I'm going to ask you for the final decision?
Yes.
However, do you also understand, although I'm going to ask you about the final decision, that you do have the right to talk with your attorneys and get their advice for you to consider as you see fit in making your final decision?
We've already crossed that bridge, and they've, they don't want me to, but I really want to, Your Honor. It's important to me. It's a simple sentence. It needs to be said.
Okay. And do you need any more? We've now had a conversation here this morning that you had not had before. Do you need any more time to talk with your lawyers about whether you want to testify in this case?
No, I do want to testify.
Do you need any more time to think about whether you want to testify in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you choose to testify in this case?
Yeah, absolutely, sir.
All right, who will be doing, well, the court finds that Mr. Nelson's decision to take the stand is freely, voluntarily, knowingly, and intelligently made based on the court's questions of Mr. Nelson. Ms. Burdick, are you doing direct? Cross, I'm sorry. And Mr. Lahr, are you doing direct?
I am, Your Honor. We will need to have him seated prior to the jury coming in.
Sure.
Additionally, just for the record, the case that I provide to the state and to the court is Wilson v. State, 12/7/3, 292.
Thank you. All right, did any arrangements need to be made as far as AV or anything, Mr. Lahr, before your client? Okay. Are we ready to proceed? Can I bring Mr. Nelson up to the stand, or we need to take a break from either side? Okay. All right, if we can bring Mr. Nelson to the witness stand, please. Sure. Can counsel approach?
Sure.
All right, Mr. Nelson, as I indicated, you're going to be sworn in front of the jury. Right now, what we're going to do is, if you don't mind standing, please, just stand up. And so when the jury comes in, you're going to be in a standing position, so you're in the same position as the other witnesses when they've been sworn in, that is standing. And then, but right now, all I want you to do is just see if you can sit without making any sort of a noise.
I can. I'm
You're cognizant of that issue?
totally.
Okay, but why don't you just do it once so everybody can. I didn't hear anything. Mr. Lahr, Ms. Simmons, did you hear anything? Okay. All right. All right, Mr. Nelson, if you can go ahead and stand up then. Thank you. Mr. Lahr, is defense ready to proceed?
Yeah, yeah.
Ms. Burdick, state.
Yes.
Mr. Nelson, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's bring in the jury, please. Good morning, members of the jury. Good morning. Mr. Lahr, does the defense acknowledge the jury?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Nelson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Burdick, state.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lahr, please call the first witness for the defense.
At this time, Your Honor, we would call Scott Nelson.
Thank you.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may be seated. Please state and spell your first and last name for Madam Court Report.
Scott Edward Nelson. SCOTTEDWARDNELSON.
Thank you. Mr. Lahr?
How old are you, sir?
I'm 55.
And date of birth?
February 28, 1964.
Can you tell me who Julio Dominguez is?
Julio Dominguez is employed by the U.S. Department of Justice, United States Probation Office in Orlando, Florida.
Okay. And how is he related to this case?
Well, sir, he was my probation officer. I was on supervised release.
Okay, and what is the importance of his involvement in this case?
Well, sir, I'll be very frank with you. Jennifer Lynn Fulford would be alive today had it not been for Julio Dominguez.
Any reason for that statement, sir?
I think the world should know that. I mean, it's justice. The truth should be known, sir.
Okay. Have you ever been convicted of a felony?
6 of them, sir.
Okay. And I don't believe I have any further questions.
Cross-examination.
Good morning, Mr. Nelson.
Good morning, Ms. Burdick.
Where are you from?
Originally,
Sure.
I was born in the state of Massachusetts and raised in the state of New Hampshire.
Right. And you moved to Orlando in March or May of 2017, correct?
That's correct.
And you came here and then you were under the supervision of this individual by the name of Julio Dominguez.
That's correct.
All right. So Mr. Dominguez was a federal probation officer?
That's correct.
Okay. And Mr. Dominguez, according to your statement, is the individual responsible for Jennifer Fulford's death.
Yes.
Did Mr. Dominguez kill Jennifer Fulford?
No.
Who killed Jennifer Fulford?
I did.
All right. So you left unsaid why Mr. Dominguez is responsible for her death. Would you like to explain?
Yes.
Please do.
I was employed in Winter Park for a painting company by a alleged Christian family who took it in their interest because I was such a dedicated, hard worker, allowed me to live at their employment as well. Prior to that, I had been homeless after being released from federal custody, thrown to the street, homeless with no money. I mean, that's how they do business. Mm-hmm. My federal supervised release officer, Julio Dominguez, after suffering on the streets of Orlando for many months with no identification, thanks to the Federal Bureau of Prisons throwing out my IDs.
Let me interrupt you.
Yes, ma'am.
You said many months. We're talking about 3 or 4 months, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And
what did Mr. Dominguez do to you?
He made it a point to create a situation with my employer/landlord, which is one of the same, and he got me thrown on the street after months of suffering on the streets of Orlando.
So what he did was notify your employer that you were on federal probation.
No, actually, Ms. Burdick, what he did was I satisfied the courts and the probation officers' criteria. I told them that I was in prison, and I named the felony, and they were happy with that, the family. That satisfied the court. He took it upon himself to, as he called it, a third-party perspective. And he went to the owner, and he used vulgar language and said, "What are you, blank, crazy for letting this man live here? And you're going to let him work here? Get him out of here." And that got me thrown on the street.
All right, and this was in August or September?
It was the last Saturday of August 2018, ma'am.
17.
17. I'm sorry, 17.
So your employer paid you, however, for the time that you had worked there prior to your being thrown out onto the street.
Yes, I received, I believe, one paycheck.
Right. Was this the paycheck that you used to open up an account in Winter Park?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
What bank was that?
I'm sorry, I don't recall.
All right. Is this the account that provided you with the check that you used to make purchases at Walmart in September of 2017?
That would be correct.
All right. The account balance was what, $500?
I don't recall, but it sounds realistic.
Sounds about the approximate dollar value of the paycheck that you would have gotten and then deposited into this bank account.
Yes, Ms. Burdick.
All right. So with that money in the middle of September 14th or 15th, sound about right?
That sounds right.
All right. You went to Walmart and we saw a video of an individual making purchases at Walmart. Was that you?
That was me.
Right? And you used a check from that checking account and signed it right there at the register, correct?
That's correct.
What did you buy?
A very long list of material, all different kinds of odds and ends.
All right, well, a lot of it was cigarettes, right? Cigarettes are very expensive.
Yeah, they are.
You bought a pair of blue tennis shoes?
Yep. Yes, ma'am, I did.
You bought zip ties?
Yes, I did.
You bought duct tape?
That'd be correct.
You bought a knife?
I sure did.
Right. Anything else you remember?
I believe food.
Some food?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you bought those, what were you planning to do? Why'd you need duct tape?
I bought that material because I had a plan in mind of how I was going to survive being thrown on the street again for what? The third, or was it the fourth time by the government, be it state or federal? And, you know, once you kick a dog enough times, they tend to bite back. And really, they just don't care anymore.
So tell us about your plan.
My plan was to get some money and abscond.
Abscond from your probation?
Oh, I think anybody would after, I suffered to work my way up to the top of the mountain, and this maniac comes and cuts it out from underneath me. What am I going to do? Go get another job? Let him do it again? No, we're going to fight back.
All right.
He lit a firecracker. He lit a bomb. He knew it too. And they laugh about it after. That's what corrections does. That's what the government does. Okay. That's all they've ever done to me. They've turned me into an animal.
So, Mr. Dominguez had you on probation out of Orlando, not Winter Park, right?
Yes, Ms. Burdick.
Right. And when you first moved to Orlando in May of that year, you actually lived in the city at a shelter?
Yeah, I had no choice. Yes, ma'am.
And you were there for about 60 days?
That's about accurate.
Okay. What took you to Winter Park?
What took me to Winter Park? My employment.
All right.
That's where I was located. My employment brought me there.
So you were living in Winter Park?
Yes, I was.
Where?
On Forsyth Street.
With who?
By myself, but at the owner's 2-level garage on the bottom where he runs this paint business and painting company business. And the second floor is like a suite, refrigerators, stove, all that,
Is this Mr. Estromera?
That would be correct.
Okay. So Mr. Estromera, out of the goodness of his heart, allowed you to stay on a property that he either owned or controlled.
That's half right.
All right. So you said this is Forsyth Road in Winter Park,
Yes.
right? That's not really anywhere near Park Avenue, is it?
No, but his painting business brings me in all areas of Winter Park
All right.
and other towns.
So did you do any painting jobs on Park Avenue or near Park Avenue?
Not that I recall.
How about on Webster?
Not that I recall.
So there was no reason for you to be in that downtown Winter Park area, whether it's to live or to work, correct?
I'm free to walk about the streets like any other citizen.
Right, but aside from that, you had no reason to be there.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
All right. So rather than choosing this individual, Julio Dominguez, that you have a beef with, if you will, you decide that people who live in an area unconnected to you somehow need to be the target of your plan. Is that accurate?
No.
How then did you end up targeting Jennifer Fulford and Reed Berman?
The owner of the painting business, Mr. Estamera, had known Mr. Berman and had introduced me to a family, another family, and they had a beef with Mr. Berman. And the name Reed Berman and the location of that home came to light. I reported that to law enforcement.
Who is this? Who is this family?
I actually don't know the name of the family. I had been brought to their house by Mr. Estamera to paint.
Right, where is the house?
I believe it's in what they call Lake Forest or Forest Lake, something of that nature.
And what is that close to?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the area, ma'am.
All right.
I'm being honest with everything I say to you.
So what you're saying is that you don't know exactly where they lived, who is unconnected to Julio Dominguez, somehow led you to target Reed Berman.
That's fairly correct.
Okay? So because of your, you don't know Reed Berman, right?
Never met the man.
And you don't know or didn't know Jennifer Fulford.
No, I don't.
There was nothing that either one of them ever did to you that would have resulted in you taking some sort of revenge on them for, some moral cause.
I believe the term is collateral damage.
All right. You're saying that Jennifer Fulford was collateral damage as a result of your disliking Mr. Dominguez and how he treated you.
Well, I believe it's yes, but it's more accurate that he had a problem with me rather than I having a problem with him.
And did you direct your concerns to Mr. Dominguez or his supervisor?
Well, once I got thrown on the street with no job and stuff, there was really no sense in complaining to anyone. What are they going to do?
So that's a no?
That would be a no.
All right, so instead of taking a normal course when you disagree with somebody, you decided on something completely different to make your point, if you will, right?
Objection.
I'll overrule the objection.
Ma'am?
Is that a yes or no? Instead of taking a normal route to deal with somebody that you disagree with on a professional level, you took another route to make your point.
May I suggest yes and no answers in an area that we're venturing is really like putting a gag in my mouth, because there's a lot more to just a yes and a no. But I'll go with the game here. Yes.
All right. So you think this is all game?
Well, I think what you're doing is trying to manipulate the real facts.
Now, I'm trying to make a point that you.
Now I'm willing to admit to it.
Excuse me.
Hey, hold on. Madam Court Reporter cannot take down two people at once. So, Mr. Nelson, unless your attorney has an objection, you wait for my ruling, then you answer the question. Ms. Burdick, if you believe the witness is being non-responsive, you need to make that objection.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So you're saying that I'm trying to now manipulate something. The point is, you had a problem with somebody completely unrelated to Jennifer Fulford and Reed Berman, and you made a plan in September of 2017 to take your anger toward that person out on somebody like Jennifer Fulford.
I think that's accurate.
All right. Why not Mr. Dominguez?
Funny you should mention that. I happen to possess a 9mm handgun with 2 boxes of ammunition. They were in the house.
Relevance.
Okay.
Overrule the objection.
You can finish.
I happen to have that gun. I was going to shoot him. And I believe in God because God was looking out for Mr. Dominguez that Saturday afternoon. Because me and him were in a part of Winter Park on Forsyth Street where on Saturday afternoon there was no one on Forsyth Street.
Is it Saturday afternoon before you killed Jennifer Fulford?
No, this was like a month prior.
A month before, okay. So you wanted to kill Mr. Dominguez, and you had the ability and the tools to do so, and you made a choice at that time not to.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's very lucky.
All right. So back to the point, instead of carrying out that plan, you formed a new one.
Yes.
And for some reason, you turned your attentions, if you will, to the people of Winter Park.
Yeah.
Because you just didn't like the way they were treating you either.
I think that's a pretty fair assessment.
All right, so Mr. Dominguez, you don't like the way he's treating you. You think about killing him. You acquire the tools to do it and change your mind. So now, generally speaking,
Your Honor, can we
Yes.
So what do you guys think so far? Is this a good one? Aaron found this one, I think, dreading. And then I think Fur Babies, you suggested this too. Yep, Fur Babies, you suggested this one as well. So Aaron found this on dreading, and then Fur Babies, you, when we did Robert Tell Us, you guys were suggesting trials. And Fur Baby's mom, you suggested this one too. So shout out to Fur Baby's mom and Aaron for suggesting this one. So what do you guys think? Good one. Thanks for uploading, Vesper. Yeah. Joanne Jedi Platypus, he's a nutter. Yep. I guess there are no spoilers in this. Yep. He is. Sandra. All right, you're back. I guess I can fast forward a little bit. Let me see. All right, here we go.
may I continue?
Yes.
All right. Do you remember the question?
No.
All right. Not sure I remember how I phrased it, but what we were discussing is you had formed a plan to kill Mr. Dominguez. You had acquired the tools to do that, and then you changed your mind. Yes?
No, I never formed a plan to kill Mr. Dominguez. He walked into something and created a situation, and it made me give a certain thought into doing it, and the grace of God saved him.
All right. So instead of pursuing that, because that's who you're true, I mean, that's the only statement you made on direct. So that's the true subject of your ire.
Yes.
Right. So instead of pursuing that, you now decide, because I don't like how these people in Winter Park are treating me, somebody here is going to pay for the fact that I have this level of anger towards this other individual who ultimately caused me to be thrown into these streets.
Objection, compound question.
I'll sustain the objection to the form.
All right. Turn your attention to the people of Winter Park instead of pursuing the real subject, Mr. Dominguez.
Objection, relevant.
I'll overrule that objection.
No, ma'am.
Right. So in September, when you went to the Walmart and acquired the knife and the duct tape and the zip ties, remember the zip ties?
Yeah. Never leave home without them.
Thank you for that quote.
Levity.
You, at that point, formed a plan to use those items.
Right.
Maybe you didn't have a particular target in mind on that date, correct?
Correct.
But you knew at least 2 weeks before Jennifer Fulford's murder that somebody was going to pay for how you've been treated.
Objection, relevant.
Overruled.
That is very accurate.
All right. So to you, it didn't really matter who that was going to be? Were you looking for targets for 2 weeks?
Yes.
All right. And those targets were in Winter Park because these were the people who had nice homes that you couldn't live in, never would live in.
I have lived in those type of homes. You'll see that during the
future?
mitigation.
The situation in which you found yourself in 2017 led you to believe, I will never live in these homes, correct? I will never drive these nice cars.
No, Ms. Burdick.
Hold on. I'm going to overrule the relevance objection.
Well, you're saying no, but do you remember the conversation that we played yesterday where you indicated to Brian Ferreira that these people in Winter Park, they don't give a crap about anybody who is not basically going to do something for them?
Now that is 100% correct.
Okay? But instead of staying near Forsyth in Winter Park or going back downtown Orlando, you turned your attention and focus to people living in the wealthy sections of Winter Park. Accurate?
No.
So how'd you end up there?
Luck of the draw.
Random.
Random.
All right. Didn't you spend days there in Winter Park prior to this event?
I had no choice.
Right. Well, you had a bus pass. You can get all over the county with the bus pass, right?
Actually, someone loaned that to me.
Well, you got it mid-September.
No, someone else did.
All right, and then gave it to you?
That'd be correct.
All right. But that's you getting on and off the bus that we saw, right?
I mean, I have to be somewhere, Ms. Burdick.
I'm sorry?
I have to be somewhere.
Right?
What's wrong with being in the same town I'm employed?
All right, but you chose this particular section of Winter Park.
I think the more we have Q&A here, the further and further we're getting away from the reality of the matter. You're not getting the real truth. You're getting some cited version of what you want to
Refusing to answer the question.
delineate. I don't even know what question you're asking me, Ms. Burdick.
I'm asking you at what point you turned your attention to this section of Winter Park to exact your revenge against Julio Dominguez. When did you decide that?
Decide what?
That you were going to exact your revenge against Julio Dominguez, against somebody in Winter Park?
I would say the night before.
No earlier than that?
Not a concrete decision, no.
All right, but you carried around with you the duct tape, correct?
It was available to me. I didn't carry it around. It wasn't like I had it,
Well, you told Detective Ferreira you would keep your stuff in the bushes.
I had to.
Okay.
It had to be somewhere.
So your duct tape and your zip ties and your knife were either on you or with your possessions.
Yes.
Okay. Easily accessible to you the moment you decided to take action.
Yes.
And that moment came, according to what you told the detective and what you're saying today, the night before Jennifer Fulford died.
A funny thing happened in the course of the confession interview there, okay? I asked quid pro quo.
No.
Okay? No, that's what I added.
Let me have you answer the question, and then on redirect, your attorneys can ask you whatever they want.
I'll sustain the objection to instructions to the witness.
Are you going to answer?
Give me the question again. Lots going on here.
Actually, no. Can the court reporter read back the question?
You're learned at
Hold on,
this.
Mr. Nelson. Madam Court Reporter, can you read back?
I'm a simple man.
Mr. Nelson. Madam Court Reporter needs to read back the question. Go ahead.
And that moment came, according to what you told the detective and what you're saying today, the night before Jennifer Fulford died.
Yes.
Okay. So it was then you began to plan at least a home invasion.
That'd be correct.
Okay. And if something happened during the course of the home invasion, that would be what you referred to as collateral damage. Correct?
Overrule the objection.
If something happened during the course of this planned home invasion, you would consider that to be collateral damage.
Yes.
Okay. So the goal of the home invasion was to get as much money as possible.
That'd be correct.
And you chose, of course, the wealthy section of Winter Park because it stands to reason that those are the individuals that might have maybe a substantial amount of cash in their home.
As I was told, yes.
All right, so you took that risk, that you were going to enter a home hoping that you would hit the jackpot and end up with a lot of cash. Right?
Yes.
Because you didn't really want jewelry or electronics, because you can't transport those things easily, right? You wanted cash. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Now, one of the things you told the detectives was that you saw Jennifer Fulford at this residence the night before. True?
True.
With the young boy?
True.
And the night before, you decided she was going to be your target. She was going to be the means by which you get yourself into Reed Berman's house.
That'd be correct.
That was 5 o'clock or so in the evening?
I don't know. I have no idea what time it was.
Daylight?
Daylight.
All right. I think you told the detectives you saw them in the driveway about 5 o'clock in the evening.
A lot of what I told the detectives was untrue. Because, if I may, a lot of what I told the detectives was untrue because we started off with a quid pro quo, and they started weaseling out and playing their games, and it started giving me a little enjoyment watching them squirm. Because some of the answers I gave them, the blood pizza, come on. That's a lot of inaccurate information I gave them because they weren't being forthcoming with my needs. They weren't trying to help me. They just wanted to squeeze me, so I just gave them a lot of BS back.
All right. All right. So the whole process in court, talking to detectives, it's all a sham.
No, I wouldn't say it's all a sham, but they didn't get the real deal because they weren't giving me the real deal.
All right. So you were...
I lawyered up when I met him. I had no intention.
You were seeking a single cell. This is what you wanted from these detectives, right? A single cell, bottom bunk. And they told you, you know, we don't work here. We can't make you any promises. You remember that exchange? You don't remember that exchange?
No, that never happened.
All right.
Believe me, Ferreira, he'd never say that. He'd cut his tongue out before he'd ever say something like that to me. Oh, hell no. He sold me every dream to keep me talking.
Okay.
Can language and all this, and oh, yeah. No, he was very manipulative. That's why there's no video.
As were you.
No, I wrote a letter. I told him straight up, quid pro quo. You help me, I'll help you. That's it.
All right. Well,
oh no, I mean that's how detectives are. They squeeze you. They you know, then they boom, you get nothing in the end.
Sure.
I mean, it's what you guys do. You're very good at it.
Does that mean that what you told him about killing Jennifer Fulford was untrue?
No, that is true.
All right. So let's go back to how that occurred.
Julio Dominguez.
We're past that. Let's get back to September 26th of 2017. You're on foot, correct?
Yeah.
You have your duct tape and zip ties and knife with you?
What does this have to do with Julio Dominguez? I mean, if you want to sit here and talk to me and grill me for the next 3 hours, I'm not doing this. I came up here for one reason. Julio Dominguez is the reason Jennifer Lynn Fulford died. That's it. That's all I have to say.
All right.
If you wanted anything more, talk to my lawyers.
Yeah.
That's it.
Your Honor, would the court direct Mr. Nelson to answer the questions of all attorneys, not just his lawyers?
Well, need to.
My memory's getting real foggy right now. I'm sorry. I must need my medication.
Nelson, don't speak when I'm speaking. Do you understand, sir? You understand, sir?
Yes.
Mr. Burdick, ask a question. If there needs to be a pending question that he's refused to answer before I'll direct the witness.
The night before,
Yes.
September 26th of 2017, you're on foot?
Yeah.
You have your knife with you?
No.
No duct tape?
No.
No zip ties?
That's not a good way to walk down the streets at night, looking like Rambo.
All right.
No.
So you were just doing reconnaissance?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you go onto the Berman property to see if you could get in furtively?
No.
Right? Because your plan was you're going to force your way in.
No, the doorbell works better.
All right? So you're just going to go in the front door if you could make it in that way.
Anybody can. You ring the doorbell. She opened the door and let me in.
All right. But you didn't do it that night.
No.
But you chose Miss Fulford and that house. Finally, you made the final decision about it that night.
Yes.
Did you stay in the neighborhood?
Yes.
Where'd you stay?
Oh, I don't know. I can't even remember. It was so long
Around the
ago.
corner at this fountain?
I don't
whatever
recall.
You talked about?
I don't recall.
Right. You went up to people at the Winter Park Golf Club that morning?
Yes.
Okay. Were you hanging around the house, waiting until Jennifer Fulford appeared?
I was having health problems.
Were you hanging around the house, waiting until Jennifer Fulford appeared?
I don't recall.
Right. Well, at about 11:30, that morning, you're certainly within view of the front of Reed Berman's house, right?
I don't recall.
And you don't see the UPS or FedEx driver pull into the driveway with a package?
I don't recall.
Do you see Ms. Fulford answer the door, or do you?
Ma'am, I don't recall any of this. This is all getting foggy right now. I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember any of this. I've had head injuries.
Did you force your way into the house with a knife?
I would say, I suggest that you look at the confession. I mean, the one that you played yesterday, that, you know,
Did you force your way into the house?
I don't recall any of this stuff right now, ma'am.
Did you have a knife with you when you went into the house?
Ma'am, you better check the confession. I mean, what more do you want? I mean, did I make it easy enough? It wasn't great police work that got me here. I gave it all to you. Check the confession. You got it.
You told Brian Ferreira and Sharon Wagner that you forced your way into the Berman house at knife point. Was that correct?
Ma'am, I just don't recall.
How long were you in the house?
I don't know. What is the security doors opening and closing? What do they say?
How long do you remember being in the house?
4 hours.
All right, so you had Jennifer Fulford zip-tied on the ground in the living room?
No,
Where?
I didn't zip tie her in the house.
Okay. How did you subdue her while you went upstairs?
She did what I said.
Okay. Did she go with you upstairs?
No.
So she just stayed downstairs while you went upstairs and looked in Reed Berman's bedroom
Yeah,
and didn't move?
that's right.
Why didn't she move?
I know. Ask her.
Why didn't she move?
I don't know. Because people do.
Threaten her?
Yes.
Did you threaten the child?
No. How could I? I didn't know who that child was.
All right. Now, she told you someone was coming to the house, right?
I don't recall.
And then you made her call that person back and say, don't come?
I don't recall. I can't remember everything. I mean, I'm not a computer.
All right, you remember wearing a white shirt, a towel around your neck, and a pair of shorts with the blue shoes?
Can you tell me what you were wearing on the 27th of September?
There was a picture of it. Your Honor may approach
With,
189 in evidence.
go ahead.
That's you, right?
I can't make out the image. I don't know who it is.
See right here, there's a signature,
It looks like a bunch of scribbles.
S.
I don't know.
Do you remember signing this?
No.
During your statement?
Nope.
To the police,
No, I don't.
indicating that that was you?
I don't know.
So you don't know if that's you?
I can't see. I mean, I see some, it looks like some sweaty guy with glasses. I don't know if that's me or not. Doesn't even look like a signature.
May I approach with 190 in evidence?
Yes.
See what I'm pointing to here at the bottom of the image?
Yeah.
S-N.
Yep, that would,
Signature?
I
Did you put your signature on this?
don't recall.
Is that you?
It sure looks like me, yeah.
Is that you?
I mean, it looks like me, apparently.
Did you take money out of Jennifer Fulford's bank account by forcing her to give you her PIN number?
I don't recall, ma'am.
Did you get $300 from Jennifer Fulford's bank account?
I'm sorry, I can't help you. I just don't remember all this. What does the confession say?
I may approach with 188 in evidence.
Go ahead.
See this signature near the image?
Yep.
Is that your signature?
Yeah, but I don't know how it got there.
Is that you?
It looks like me, yes.
Is that you?
I can't definitively say. It's not a very clear photo.
Were you at the Wells Fargo ATM on September 27th of 2017?
I don't recall, ma'am. You look stressed.
Thank you for your concern.
You're welcome.
May I approach with 187?
Yes.
See down there at the bottom?
I see down there, yes.
Is that your signature?
I don't know how it got there.
Did you affix your signature to this photograph indicating that this was the bedroom that you had gone into on September 27th of 2017?
I don't remember doing that, ma'am.
Did you go in this bedroom?
I've never seen that bedroom before.
You didn't go into Reed Berman's bedroom and get the comforter off the bed so that you could put Jennifer Fulford in it so that you didn't have to drag her out of the house kicking and screaming?
Reed Berman slept in that bed a couple nights and he didn't even know the comforter was missing. Maybe he took it. They didn't report it.
Take the comforter off of the bed so that you could wrap Jennifer Fulford in it because you wanted to conceal her from the outside.
No,
You didn't wrap her in the comforter.
I didn't do that.
Who did it?
I don't know. I didn't do it. Maybe she did. Maybe she was cold.
Say that last line again.
I said maybe she was cold. I don't
On
know.
September 27th. How long have you lived in Florida?
I don't know. She ended up cold.
$181 in evidence over here.
Go ahead.
I'm here at the corner. S. Nelson.
Now that looks like my signature. I don't know.
This car on September 27th of 2017.
I don't recall.
You go into Jennifer Fulford's car after placing her in the back and drive to the ATM.
Really?
Where you withdrew $300 at noon, 12:02.
I'm sorry. I just don't know, ma'am.
Were you in this car?
I don't know.
Did you drive this car from the Berman residence to the ATM?
I think I used that vehicle. I think I did. I showed up to see Julio Dominguez.
Right.
I saw him that day.
And you had taken a bottle of beer from the Berman residence, right?
Terrible beer.
You took it though.
Yeah, I didn't reluctantly.
All right. And drank it and left it in that vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, after going to the ATM, is Jennifer's in the back in the comforter, right? While you're at the ATM?
I think she was in the, yeah, I think she was.
You put her there.
No, I don't recall doing that. No, I don't remember that part.
You said you carried her out of the house.
When? Who did I say that to?
All right.
I didn't say that to you.
Did you say that to law enforcement?
Wrapped
her in the comforter
so
that all these people in Winter Park couldn't see what you were up to. so that you could get her into the car, so that you could get money, so that you could abscond from probation and the government oppression that you have suffered. Right? That's what this is all about.
No.
We're in this car.
No.
Never.
Ma'am, that was like 2 years ago. I don't know. I've never even seen that vehicle. I don't even know whose car that is. It's sitting, I don't know who that is. I don't know what you're talking about.
Drive all the way to Disney, or the Disney area, to take Mrs. Fulford out of the car.
I've never been to Disney.
Disney area, Fulton Street. You weren't on Fulton Street on September 27th of 2017?
I was there.
You drove that car we were just looking at from Winter Park all the way out. Did you go down I-4?
Ma'am, I'm not from Orlando. I don't even know what I-4 is.
You don't know what I-4 is?
I don't, ma'am. I'm not from Orlando. I'm not from here. I don't have a vehicle.
Did you drive Mrs. Fulford's vehicle with her in the back all the way down to Disney to get rid of her? At that point, you knew you were going to kill her. Right?
Did I drive? Yes, I did.
All the way down. Why there? What were you looking for?
I was looking for a place to dump her. Get rid of her.
Okay.
Next question.
Right. And so as you were driving, you absolutely knew that you weren't just going to leave her in a remote area, you were going to kill her.
No. Now that you're wrong about.
So when you say get rid of her, you mean just drop her off?
Well, yeah, that's what the zip ties were for.
Just drop her off, somehow restrained.
Yes.
Okay. If she died, so be it. If she died before somebody found her, so be it.
That's a matter of opinion.
Was that your thinking?
No, that sounds like it's your thinking.
Okay. So while you're in this vehicle driving, you have your kit with you, if you will, of duct tape and zip ties and the knife, because you said she wasn't duct taped in the car.
A lot of what I told those investigators, as the confession went on minute by minute, the more and more BS I would throw into it, because they were giving me BS and I was giving it right back to them. That's how that interview went. And that's the truth.
Right. The question is, you had this kit, if you will, of zip ties and duct tape and the knife, right?
Yes.
And as you were traveling, because it's do you remember how long it took? That time of day?
I don't know.
Probably an hour?
I don't know, check the cell towers.
You were there.
I don't know.
You think it was an hour?
I don't know. I'm not good at keeping track of time.
All right. So you first go down an area closer to, you said you saw Disney signs, an area closer to them. Did you make a decision that this wouldn't be the right place to get rid of Mrs. Fulford?
What do you mean by get rid of?
Kill her?
No.
Drop her off?
I had no
duct
intent.
tape and zip tie her?
Miss Burdick, I really think you have this all wrong. I never intended to kill that woman. It was not in my heart to do that. It wasn't what I had planned. I didn't want to kill that woman. She'd never done anything to me.
Right. So you drove her, though, all the way to Disney in the back of her vehicle for a purpose.
Yes.
It wasn't just for no reason, correct?
Yeah, you're right.
And you were searching for places to leave her.
Yes.
So then you find what you think, even though it's the middle of the day, is a relatively remote area, right?
Yes.
And you park the car on the dirt road?
Yes.
You pull into the field at all?
No.
Stayed on the dirt road.
Yes.
So you get out, and do you go to the back and open up the hatch?
Yes.
And she is in the back, wrapped in the comforter.
I don't recall, ma'am.
What do you say to her? Get out?
Ma'am, you're asking for specifics that I really, honestly, legitimately, truthfully, from my heart, I do not remember. I don't remember all those facts.
So you don't remember how Jennifer Fulford got out of the car?
We were picking a jury a few days ago. I can't remember some of that. And this is 2 years ago.
The question was, you don't remember how Jennifer Fulford got out of the car?
There's something wrong with my brain.
Did you have her duct taped at the ankles and zip tied behind her back while she was in the car?
I don't know. Check the medical examiner's report. They can't determine either.
Right. Well, you're the one who put the duct tape on the ankles, no question, right?
I don't know.
You're the one that put the zip ties on her wrists.
I don't know.
You're the one who dropped the zip tie at the tree line, right?
I don't know. You want the truth? I'll give you the truth. So help me God. I don't remember. I can't remember everything. There's something wrong with my brain.
So when you open up the back of this hatch to the Hyundai, she's making a lot of noise, pleading for her life. You have to remember that.
I heard it yesterday. Where did I hear it? Oh, I heard it on the recording of the confession. How can you give out sheets of paper and tell them not to, whatever. But anyway.
You have to remember her begging for her life.
No, I really don't.
All right. So you remembered that in November of 2017 and told that to the detectives, but you can't remember it now.
It's been 2 years.
Okay.
Lots happened in 2 years. I've been abused a lot. We all get abused, don't we?
All right. And you have to remember that Jennifer was crying.
No, I don't. I don't remember that. No, she wasn't.
Begging you not to kill her.
I don't remember.
That she continued to get louder and louder, so you decided to duct tape her whole head. Not just her mouth, not just her eyes, her whole head.
Sustain the objection to the form.
Ma'am, Ms. Burdick.
I sustain the objection, Mr. Newman.
Are you saying you don't remember?
I don't remember, ma'am.
All right. Did you take the comforter out of the car at all while you're at the scene?
No.
You left it in the back?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you carry Jennifer Fulford from the back of the car through that patch of trees and vines to the open field? Or did you have her walk under her own power?
I think what was going on, ma'am, was that at that point, I was not in the right state of mind. And when I get to that point, like when corrections abuses you or does things to you, it gets me in that state of mind where, that you just can't see things clearly and you just don't understand things. And you do things that you really don't want to do or understand why you do them. And that's where 25 years in custody has brought me.
So
I've been
the
through horrible experiences.
pending question is, did Jennifer Fulford get out of that car under her own power, meaning did she walk? Or did you carry her?
I'm sorry, I can't give you.
All right, because you recall being ripped up by the briars that were in that patch of woods, right?
I think she was fighting or something. And we ended up getting. Yeah.
You remember being ripped up yourself by the briars? That's what we saw, those pictures taken of you.
Yeah, I saw them yesterday.
October 1st.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
remember those injuries?
Yes.
All right, to the exposed parts of your skin, because you had shorts on.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you walk through there, you get scraped up. Did she walk or did you carry her?
She walked, ma'am.
All right, so her ankles were not duct taped until you got her into the open field.
I'm sorry, I can't remember everything. I'm being as helpful as I can for you, but I don't remember, ma'am.
All right. Was her head duct taped or her eyes or her mouth duct taped as you got her into the open field? Meaning, could she see where she was?
I don't know.
Did she start yelling?
I don't remember.
All right. So while you're out there, you decide she's going to test, right?
That's something that was said during the interview. That was towards the very end, and I was doing it because I was getting some really good visuals from Detective Wagner. She was, and I started. They were jerking me, so I just gave it back to him. So a lot of that was just to amuse myself and watch her.
Unresponsive.
Overrule the objection.
See, you were trying to make Detective Wagner squirm? Was that your goal?
Pretty much, yeah.
All right.
I mean,
Aside from whatever tactics you were using on Detective Wagner, could you tell us if Jennifer Fulford had duct tape over her eyes as you walked her out to the field?
She did not.
So she could see where she was?
That's correct.
And she started screaming.
I can't remember.
Would you agree that she was terrified?
I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, ma'am, she has I don't know how many stab wounds on her body and stuff. And I'm going to look you in the eye and I'm going to tell you something. I don't remember doing all that.
All right. The pending question was, did she appear to you to be terrified?
Question asked and answered.
I'll overrule the objection.
I mean, I'm sure she wasn't happy.
Okay.
I mean, how?
Screaming?
No.
Begging you not to kill her?
No.
You've had a knife this whole time, right? That knife we saw? That green and black knife?
How are you supposed to carry someone and carry a knife at the same time? Or how are you supposed to, I mean...
Was it in your pocket?
I think I left it in the vehicle. And then I had to go back and get it, I guess.
All right, so she's out in the field, and you have her duct taped and zip tied, face down, and then you need to eliminate her as a witness.
Ma'am, that was something I said to Miss Wagner to get her ire. At that point, that was deep into the confession pseudo interview.
I'm not asking.
Yeah.
I'm asking you
Yes, ma'am.
a direct question about, you were out in the field. Tell us, did you have her face down, bound, while you went and got your knife?
Your Honor, can we approach?
Yes?
right, so for those that are wondering, yeah, he spoiler alert. Yep, he eventually does get convicted, and he is currently on death row. And I've seen some reports, like when I do searches, sometimes it says 13 years is the average for Florida, but then I just did another one, it said 20 years. So I guess it kind of depends on who you ask. But
May I have the question before the objection read back, Your Honor?
Madam Court Reporter, if you'd please read back the pending question.
When you were out in the field, and tell us, did you have her face down, bound while you went and got your knife?
I do not recall, ma'am. I don't remember. I was in a different world at that point.
Now, she stabbed on her back and on her chest, on the front of her chest.
What I've seen from the medical examiner, yes.
So which did you do first?
Ma'am, I don't remember.
At some point, did you have to turn her over one way or another to complete what you had brought her there for?
Ma'am, I never brought her anywhere to kill her. That's something you're trying to
Why'd you put her in the field?
Should I have dropped her off in front of OPD?
Why'd you put her in the field?
Asked and answered.
Overruled.
To leave her there. Not to kill her, to leave her there.
To leave her there. Why did you bind her hands behind her back?
I would imagine so that she couldn't leave.
Why did you bind her feet with duct tape?
I imagine so she wouldn't walk away.
And why did you wrap her entire head in the duct tape?
Probably so she couldn't scream.
Okay. Why did you wrap it so tightly that she couldn't breathe?
I didn't do it that tightly.
So
It wasn't my intent.
But your intent clearly was
to subdue.
Leave a bound woman in the middle of nowhere and then go back to Mr. Berman's house and maybe hold him hostage to see if you can get some money out of him.
Oh, I would have.
Well, that was part of your plan, right?
Yes, but not to hurt that woman. And I didn't leave her in the middle of nowhere. There was a house within walking distance. It was a couple 100 feet. There was a home.
Why didn't you just leave her at the house?
Oh, that would have been kind of foolish, wouldn't it? Why didn't I just give her a cell phone?
Right. If you were just planning to leave her somewhere, you were planning to get rid of her.
No.
Correct?
I used that word. I used that.
I'm going to sustain the objection to ask and answer. That particular.
All right, you said you used those words.
Yeah, to get rid of. Yeah, but not to kill.
So your interpretation is just...
Your interpretation of rid and kill is the same thing. Mine's different.
I'm asking you, your interpretation of getting rid of her is simply to leave her there in the state we've described.
Yes.
So after this happened, you took her car and drove to the Publix, correct?
Yeah, I've seen the photos of me going in and out.
You changed clothes in the car, right?
I have no idea. Just try for a moment. Try to put yourself in my situation at that point. I mean, would you remember any of this? And you haven't had head injuries. You don't have psych meds. You don't have all these problems. You wouldn't have remembered. How am I?
Your answer is you don't remember if you changed your clothes in the car?
Yeah, I don't remember.
All right. Do you have blood on you?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
You don't remember Jennifer Fulford's blood on you?
No.
But you went into the Publix for the purpose of cleaning up, right?
I would say yes. Yeah, definitely.
Put a new shirt on,
Right.
put the hat on, the UCF hat that you bought at the Walmart,
Sure.
put that on,
Yeah, okay.
and went across the street, put the keys in that bush, and
That you would never have found without me.
jumped, right, and jumped on the bus. Took the bus down to, right down here, right? The Link Central Station, and headed back to Winter Park to see if you can get some more money.
Yeah.
All right, because you still had the ATM card, Jennifer Fulford's ATM card, right? You didn't leave that in the car. You didn't leave that in the field. You kept the ATM card. Remember that?
Well, I mean, no, I didn't bring them there. I left those in the area of the bank.
All right.
They never came down with me.
So you went and retrieved them and went back to that ATM to see if you could get more money.
Yes, ma'am.
So you remember that?
Yeah.
You remember going to the train station, buying the ticket,
In and out, like bits and pieces.
and then you remember going to the 7-Eleven, buying this pizza,
Yeah, I remember that.
all right? And then you talked, of course, to the detectives about how much you enjoyed it, because somebody had to die for you to get that.
And yeah, Detective Wagner is losing it at this point, so that's why because I mean they're jerking me around, they're playing games with me, and I'm just giving it right back, and that's what that interview was about.
Mm-hmm.
We were, in old Ferrari, he's giving the hand signals, oh, I got you, boy, I got you. We'll take care of them conditions for you, and all that. Of course, he'll never admit to that.
All right. So what you told them, though, about going and getting that pizza and having the thought that somebody had to die for me to get this pizza.
Well, in all reality, that is true. I mean, it is true.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's sad, but it's true.
So once you get to the bus station and then, the train station, and go to the 7-Eleven, you lose the UCF hat. Where'd you put it?
Oh, ma'am.
At that point, did you make a decision to appear on as many cameras as you could?
To make a point, I wouldn't think so.
Well, you took the hat off, and you're standing in front of the cameras at the 7-Eleven, at the train station. Once you get to the train station in Jacksonville, you're just standing there. Is that part of this taunting of law enforcement that you talked about?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, is it against the law to stand somewhere?
I'm asking you a question. Did you make a conscious decision to stand in front of the cameras to taunt law enforcement? Basically, see if you can catch me.
No, I think that's something you're drumming up.
All right. Now, once you got to Jacksonville, and then ultimately were located by the authorities up there.
It would take a scientist to figure out where I was. I mean, I used my real ID to take a train out of Winter Park to Jacksonville. Notice I didn't cross the line. I stayed within the, I allowed them to catch me. I
wanted them to.
Yeah.
Which is why you put your face on all those cameras.
No, no,
Because
no, that's not true.
Entire.
Not allowing the witness to.
I'll sustain the objection, Ms. Burdick, unless you have a non-responsive objection. You need to let the witness finish.
You said no, right?
I never walked around putting my face in cameras that this whole world is full of nowadays. There's cameras everywhere, so I don't care where you stand anywhere, you're going to be on a camera somewhere. No, that it wasn't my intention. I ended up in Jacksonville because I just jumped on a train. I said, "Where's the next train out of?" He said, "We got one to Jacksonville," and that's where I went. I didn't go off into Georgia or any other part of the country when I had money to do that. So obviously I didn't abscond. I know about jurisdiction. I know about police investigation. I know a lot. So it's where I ended up. But I also know that how a fugitive task force works, a CAT team, criminal apprehension team. I know how these things work. 25 years in federal custody, you learn a few things, especially sitting in the law libraries 24 hours a day.
All right, so once you got there, you pretty much, aside from your trip to the ATM to try to get more money.
Yes, ma'am.
You stayed close to the train station and waited for their arrival?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
It wasn't my intent to go around the countryside killing people. I'm out of money. I'm out of gas. That's it. I was hungry. I was starving to death on the streets of Winter Park, one of the richest towns in Florida. Hungry. Oh, she'd give the shirt off her back. How many times have I heard that in my life? Oh, I'll do that. That's something people like to get high on. They love doing that. Oh, I'd give the shirt off my back. I'd do this, that, and the other. No, you won't. You'll give just enough so it doesn't hurt. No, people don't give a damn about nobody in this world. They don't care. They don't care. If I had knocked on anybody's door and said, "Hi, I need some food and a place to live," 911, "Hey, I need some water. Get out of here, you bum, get a job."
Well, because when you knock on someone's door in Winter Park, you did so with the intent to commit a home invasion.
No, Julio Dominguez left me no choice. I mean, 20.
That was your intent.
No, the federal government turned me into an animal, and I can prove it. You lock a person in a tent.
Unresponsive.
They turn me into an animal, is what they did. They terrorize you. They brutalize you. It's a sick, sadistic game. The penal system in America is a spectacular failure. Nothing works. But everyone that drives by a prison, they glance at it real quick and keep driving. They may shudder, "Oh, that's it. Oh, God, and thank God I'm not there," and keep on a rolling. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what goes on in there. They'll spend $30,000 a year to keep you in jail, and they won't give you a nickel to keep you out. They turned me into an animal. I've been beaten. I've been chained to beds for days at a rip. I've been locked in cells that are so stifling hot. I have flashbacks to this very day. I've had cockroaches running over my body. I've been beaten. I've been raped. I've been everything in prison.
And yet you did
And now I'm out in the free world, and this guy rips everything out.
Yet you did something
What?
that will potentially put you in prison for the rest of your life or on death row.
I couldn't help it. I don't.
You intentionally did something to get yourself back into the prison system.
I'll overrule the objection.
Correct?
Ma'am?
You had not just money as a goal, but to get back into the prison system, right?
No, that wasn't my intent.
Because you made this YouTube video that you talk about that you made. That was an effort by you to raise money for a second medical procedure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
When that failed, you knew that your only hope for getting this second medical procedure was for either the federal government to pay for it while you're in custody, or for the people of Florida to pay for it. Right?
I don't have $30,000 in my pocket, but I never intended to go back to prison. It was never my intention. I didn't do anything to want to go back. That was not it. I knew the federal government, the U.S. Federal Bureau of Prisons, was not going to pay for the second part of the operation that I needed, that they flubbed and made sure I didn't get to begin with.
So instead, you want to go into the Florida state prison system.
No.
So that you could get the medical care.
No, I had medical care.
Hold on, sir. I couldn't hear the all over.
I had medical care coming.
So you committed the worst possible crime in order to either get to death row, so you could have a single cell, or back into prison so that you could get free medical care. Yes?
No, absolutely not. You're wrong.
Right.
You're drumming something up.
So it was all about the money then? It's all about the money.
Isn't everything?
Is that a yes?
I had to eat. I'm a human being.
Is that a yes?
You're damn right it's yes.
You remember writing a letter to the state attorney, Aramis Ayala, back on January 3rd of 2018?
Ma'am, I don't remember that. I've written so many letters in my life.
You remember telling her that you knew exactly what you were doing when you committed first-degree murder?
I think I've said that.
All right.
I mean, I don't know about the levels and degrees of homicide. I mean,
You said that you spent many years in the library in prison. So you
I'm not an attorney.
that first-degree premeditated murder is the highest level offense, criminal offense, in the state of Florida.
No, I don't know much about state law. But anyway.
Nevertheless, you, whether you've said it in a letter before, whether you told the police, you're telling this jury that you knew 100% what you were doing when you committed intentional, planned, premeditated murder. Yes or no?
No.
Didn't know. No other questions, John?
Redirect.
I have no questions, Your Honor.
All right, members of the jury, in just a moment, we're going to take a recess. During the recess, you're going to continue to leave your notepads and your pens here. During the recess, you're under all the court's instructions, including but not limited to the instruction not to discuss this case amongst yourselves or with anyone else. Please follow the deputy in the jury room. We'll bring
All right, I am totally wrong, you guys. Totally wrong. My research clearly was not even close. So all but one juror wanted to give him the DP. So he is not on death row. He is not. I repeat, he is not. They gave him, I guess, life. He got life. He was convicted June 29th. And then, hold on a second. June 29th, he was convicted. Why do I have July? Man, I gotta. All right, I gotta review my notes here. That's really off. All right, let's just keep watching. Let's go to the verdict. So apparently well, let's just watch. So he's not on death row. I was way off. Whew. My research needs to. I don't know what's up with that. Good grief. All right, hold on. All right. I'll do some more research, but I guess he's not on death row.
Davey Nelson back from our recess. All right, we have another note from the jury. It's been labeled by Madam Clerk, question 3. Ms. Burdick, you want to share that with your colleagues and then pass that to Mr. Lahr, please? Thank you. All right, the court reads this note as saying, please define intent and when intent has to occur. Is that the way its state reads it?
Yes.
Vince? How would the parties want to confer for a moment, see if you can come to an agreement on how the court should respond to this? Yes? Ms. Burdick, is the state ready to proceed?
I believe that we are, Your Honor. Yes.
Mr. Lard, defense?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Mr. Nelson, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, please bring in the jury. Good afternoon, members of the jury.
Good afternoon.
Ms. Berg, does the state acknowledge the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lard, defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Nelson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Could the foreperson please stand and give the verdict forms to one of the deputies? Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Deputy. Madam Clerk, please publish the verdicts.
2017 CF 15684, State of Florida versus Scott Nelson. Verdict, count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree murder with a weapon as charged in the indictment. Verdict, count 3. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of kidnapping with intent to inflict bodily harm or terrorize with a weapon as charged in the indictment. Verdict as to count 4. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of carjacking with a deadly weapon as charged in the indictment. Verdict as to count 5. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of robbery with a deadly weapon as charged in the indictment. So say we all dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, on this 28th day of June, 2019, signed by the foreperson.
Madam Clerk, please poll the jury.
Juror number 1, are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 2, are these your verdicts? Juror number 3, are these your verdicts? Juror number 4, are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 5, are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 6, are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 7, are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 8, are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 9, are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 10, are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 11, are these your verdicts?
Yes.
And juror number 12, are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Counsel, please approach. All right, members of the jury, as I had indicated to you previously, we will be proceeding to the penalty phase of this case, given your verdict on count 1 as charged in the indictment. The penalty phase will start on Monday, July 1st, 2019 at 9 a.m. So before you leave, just check with the deputies as to where you need to be so we can start the penalty phase of the case on Monday, July 1st, 2019 at 9 a.m. I am going to excuse you because you've reached your verdict. You will not be sequestered. You will not be going to the hotel. You will be returned to your homes. However, you remain under all the court's instructions, including but not limited to instruction not to discuss this case amongst yourselves or with anyone else. That includes as well that you are not to read about this, listen to news reports.
All right, so then they go to the penalty phase, and he takes the stand again, apparently. So let's watch that. This one is 45 minutes, and I have to leave in about an hour and 15 minutes to go pick up Paulie. So we're going to get through this, and then I'm going to go pick up Paulie. And then we'll get to the verdict on the penalty phase. But all right. Actually, he only takes the stand for a few minutes. All right, we'll just back this up a little bit. So he just takes the stand for a few minutes.
Discharge counsel for failure to represent Mr. Nelson in an effective manner based on what's occurred up to this point. Mr. Nelson, however, going forward, given the court's ruling, defense counsel needs to ask both questions of Mr. Nelson and I will give Mr. Nelson and counsel an opportunity to confer one more time, but if Mr. Nelson takes the stand and after consulting counsel still wants both of these questions asked, then I do not believe that the Wilson v. State case gives defense counsel a right to override Mr. Nelson's decision in that regard. All right, so Mr. Nelson, you take a moment with your attorneys to talk about what the court just ruled and decide how you would like to proceed.
Judge, I've spoken with Mr. Nelson. I have no problem with recalling him and asking the questions that he has asked, and the court is now requiring that I ask. To be clear, the response that I expect to be non-responsive to the question. I also expect that it would be objectionable and inadmissible under the rules. So I can tell the court that I anticipate that I will object to the response, which I believe is appropriate for me to do under the rules of procedure. Additionally, if the court allows the extent of the response, it would be an inadmissible argument for the state to make under the rules, and I understand that part is couched because we don't know the answer yet. But I think it's important that the court know that whatever the response is going to be, I intend to object based on our conversation, and that if it ultimately elicits an inadmissible response, the state still cannot use that response to argue inappropriately in closing.
Right. The only thing I'm addressing right now, so without prejudice to other issues that might come back, is whether Mr. Nelson is going to come back onto the stand. Just to be clear, because Ms. Moore, you stated that I'm making you ask that question. I'm not. Mr. Nelson, you understand my rulings up to this point are just ruling on these issues. You understand you do not have to go back on the stand and have your attorneys ask either of these questions. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you just hear everything that Ms. Moore indicated?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay. And so until I hear the question, until the question's actually asked and an objection is actually made, then I'm going to make my ruling. You understand, if an objection is made by your attorney, the state attorney, if I sustain it, then you will not be allowed to answer. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If I overrule it, then you will be allowed to answer.
Correct.
Okay. So do you need any more time to talk with your attorneys about whether you want to testify?
No.
Okay. Do you need any more time to think about whether you want to testify?
No, Your Honor.
And then now that the court has made these rulings, and I didn't find reasonable cause to believe that your attorneys have been ineffective. You understand that?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
You understand that these attorneys are provided at taxpayer expense.
Oh, yeah.
You do have a right to retain different attorneys at your expense. Do you understand that?
I understand, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any attorneys that you want to replace your current attorney?
No, I'm happy with the counsel I have. I just wanted to testify to, due process, to be able to say something meaningful at a meaningful time. And they're trying to gag me.
All right. And you also understand you have the right to represent yourself if you choose.
Yes, sir.
Okay. At this point, do you want to represent yourself, or do you want to stay with the attorneys that are currently representing?
I'm willing to stay with the attorneys I have throughout the rest of the trial if they're just, please, willing to just ask me a couple of questions on that are very pertinent to this case.
Okay. All right. What I've done is I have put an exhibit tag on this. It's called Defendants Are. It's not going to be admitted into evidence. It just has for identification only, so it's part of the record.
Yes, sir.
And so who is going to be inquiring? Ms. Moore, are you going to be inquiring? Okay, so why don't you come forward then so I can give you Defendants Are?
Yes, may I judge?
Yes. And then Mr. Nelson, if you could, the deputies will assist you take the stand again.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, sir, this time you can be seated. I'm just going to remind, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to state, you were previously sworn in. Do you understand you're still under oath? You don't have to stand and get sworn in again. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Moore, is the defense ready to proceed?
We are, Judge.
Mr. Nelson, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Nally, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's please bring the jury.
Jury entering.
Ms. Moore, does the defense acknowledge the jury? Yes. Mr. Nelson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Nally, state.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Nelson, you were previously sworn in. Do you understand you're still under oath?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Ms. Moore?
Okay, Mr. Nelson, when you testified before, I neglected to ask you a couple of questions you wanted to be asked. Is that correct?
Yes, Attorney Moore.
Okay. The first one has to do with, we were talking about your colostomy procedure and that letter between the warden and Senator Sanders. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Did Warden D.L. Young offer you an agreement in regards to your colostomy contradicting what he laid out to Senator Sanders?
That's exactly what he did. On December the 6th, 2016, I was brought into an office at the Federal Correctional Institution in Beckley, West Virginia. And I was brought into a room with about 8 Federal Bureau of Prisons officials, which is a very rare thing. An inmate is alone with these top-ranking officials. And they offered me a deal. Prior to that, in April, when I had this surgery, they told me it would be 2 months until I got the colostomy reversal, And the surgeon said, here, you sign here, you get a temporary colostomy, and out you go, 2 months, you'll be taken care of. Well, the BOP wouldn't send me. Even though the Dr. Stewart at the outside hospital, he kept calling for me, well, send the inmate. And they wouldn't do it. 3 times they wouldn't do it. So finally, now I'm 2 weeks to being released. And I'm throwing a stink up. I mean, I'm really making some noise. And so they bring me into a room on December the 6th, 2016, and they said, listen, Nelson, this is the deal. That Senator Sanders thing, I was supposed to get both. I was supposed to get the reversal colostomy and a halfway house. I'd been homeless before, his testimony's been heard, and that doesn't work out too well for me. So they offered me a deal. They said, listen, Nelson, if you want that reversal, that colostomy operation that's going to cost us $30,000, if you want that, we're going to hold you here on a medical hold way past your release date, and you're not going to get a halfway house. You're going to be homeless. We're going to send you to Orlando, Florida, and drop you off on the street corner, and toodles to you. I mean, what am I going to do? 6 felons on my back. Okay? Or we'll let you go now. We'll send you to that nice little halfway house in Orlando, Florida. We got it all set up for you, Mr. Nelson. But no colostomy, no $30,000. We don't know. And that's what they did. And of course, I went to the halfway house, but they sent Freedom of Information Act exempt memorandums to the people that run this halfway house here in Orlando, whom, by the way, are contracted by the Federal Bureau of Prisons. It's basically, it's a kind of like a jail it's a furlough, and they hold people there. Okay, bottom line is this, is that the memorandum they sent along with them was, hey, give them a hard time.
Okay, so to be clear, the agreement or deal that you were offered was to either choose to remain in custody well past your original release date in order to get the second surgery, or you could choose to be released to a halfway house and not get the second surgery. Is that correct?
Right.
And if you chose to stay in, you also were not going to get to go to a halfway house. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. The second question you wanted the attorneys to ask you was, how has being treated the way that you were treated in the in the Federal Bureau of Prisons affected you?
In the Federal Bureau of Prisons, after 25 years in prison, you go through such extreme situations in every shape, manner, or form. I mean, you're locked in cells with extreme temperatures of cold and heat, insects, bugs, pigeons, rats, roaches, horrible food, abuse from staff, and that's the short list. And I've had over 200 cellmates, some of the most dangerous people in America. I've had cellmates, the guy who blew up the World Trade Tower, the South Tower in February of '93. The LA ad. I've had guys that have chopped up.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to non-responsive.
Okay.
Just
Same
again,
objection.
Mr. Nelson, if you could just focus on how it has affected you.
Yes, Attorney Moore. I'm sorry. How it affected me is this. After 25 years, if the jury sends me...
And I'm going to object to non-responsive.
I'm trying to respond.
I'm going to overrule the objection at this point.
If the jury is to send me to prison with life with no parole...
Your Honor, again, I'm going to object to non-responsive.
I'll sustain the objection.
How has your mental health been affected by your previous incarceration?
I am a homicidal maniac.
Judge, I don't have any other questions.
Cross-examination.
Mr. Nelson, do you want to be sentenced to death?
Yes.
I'm going to object. That's an improper question.
I'll sustain the objection. Any other cross?
None, Your Honor.
All right, members of the jury, in just a moment, we're going to take a brief recess. During the recess, you're going to leave your notepads and the pens here. During the recess, you're under all the court's instructions, including but not limited to the instruction not to discuss this case amongst yourselves or with anyone else. Please follow the deputy in the jury room. We'll bring you back as quickly as we can.
All right, now we will get to the actual verdict. And this is the sentencing verdict. And this is only a minute, I guess. Let's just see what happens here. Okay, so I couldn't find an actual stream of it, so this is a news report of the verdict.
Not deserve to die for kidnapping and murdering a woman he took from a home in Winter Park. Instead, he should spend the rest of his life behind bars. We brought you the jury's decision live during News 6 at 6. News 6 reporter Vanessa Ariza is live at the Orange County Courthouse. And Vanessa, a death sentence would have required a unanimous verdict.
It would, Ginger, and at least one juror decided and felt as though Scott Nelson did not deserve death row, but rather life in prison without parole. Now, it has been almost 2 years after the death of Jennifer Fulford, and all of this has now come to an end. The state noting that Fulford's family was not in attendance in that courtroom today because today is Jennifer Fulford's birthday, and this is not where her family wanted to be. Rather, their wish was to move forward with this case and put it to an end. Now, over the weeks of this trial, we have seen Scott Nelson become agitated, at times told to calm down by Judge White. But today, as Judge White went through that verdict, he sat quiet with his hands clasped. Remember now, when he took the stand, he made the comment, quote, "I am a homicidal maniac," and Scott Nelson wanted the death penalty. That is something that the jury is not giving him.
We, the jury, unanimously find that Scott Edward Nelson should be sentenced to death. No. Dated this 11th day of July 2019 in Orlando, Orange County, Florida, signed by the foreperson.
And after the jurors were dismissed, Judge Keith White asked Scott Nelson if there was anything that he would like to say, any statement that he would like to make. Scott Nelson saying no, he just wanted a few minutes with his attorneys. He said, quote, in regards to an appeal. Now, Scott Nelson does have 30 days to appeal, but as it sits right now, he will be he has been sentenced rather to life in prison without the parole. We have a crew who is in the courtroom. We have been told that the state did not want to give an on-camera response or comment. Rather, they will have a written one for you. We'll have more on this coming up later tonight on News 6 at 11. But for now, we are live at the Orange County Courthouse. Vanessa Ariza getting results. News 6.
Vanessa, thank you. And we are standing by to get reaction from both sides following this decision. We'll bring you updates on clickorlando.com and on News 6 tonight at 11.
All right, so that's it. That is it. So my research was a little off. I guess I have to like triple and quadruple check my research, but yeah. So he was the one juror. There was one juror that was a holdout. And yes, Terry, we are going to cover Lori tomorrow. We're going to cover Lori tomorrow. Yeah. So one juror could not give him the death penalty. So there you have it. All right. So tomorrow. All right. So Carlos Dominguez has a pretrial or has a trial going on right now. Whether or not they're going to go back to trial. So Aaron's recording that. So we're gonna stream that as well. And then Vivs, are you going to play the brother's testimony during the penalty phase? It was wild. Ooh. No, actually, I need to go pick up Polly. Polly had her surgery today, so I'm going to go pick her up. I want to get her home. So I'm gonna wrap it up here in a few minutes. I just want to. Carlos Dominguez is going on right now, right? So it's for the Kimberly stabbing. I think that's the one where they were not unanimous. I'm sorry, that's the one where they were not hung. So Aaron's recording that right now. So we'll go ahead and we're going to stream that. Then let's see. Tomorrow is Lori Daybell. There's also jury instructions that are going on right now in Washington versus Ali. So we're going to stream that probably Saturday. Tomorrow I want to do a little update on Raul Valley because I've got one juror had like 3 interviews. They've recharged him. I've got Kevin Smith's interview, post press conference, also the McGrath's press conference. Let's see. So, will Carlos Dominguez, the man accused of deadly Davis stabbing, stand trial again after mistrial? So, all right. So that's going to happen. We're going to grab that. Oh, maybe we could do it today. Hold on a sec. All right, hold on a sec. I'm just All right, we'll save that for later. All right, we'll save that for later. Okay, so tomorrow's going to be Raul Valley and Lori Daybell. Saturday, we'll do the jury instructions. Yeah, Polly's anxious to get home. Yep. Yeah, I want to get Polly home. All right, so Saturday we'll do Washington versus Ali, and then we'll see how long that takes, and we can maybe squeeze in Carlos Dominguez. So, all right, it's going to be a busy couple days. Guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to go pick up Polly. Thank you guys for being with us for our second episode of The Ego Takes the Stand. Appreciate you guys being with us on what was supposed to be a day off in court, and here it is. All kinds of things are happening, but we had to deal with Polly today. So thank you for watching. Thank you, Aaron, for doing all the behind the scenes production and putting things together for us. And thank you to our mods. They are a fantastic group, and it was a good day, a fun day to spend with you guys. Appreciate it, and I will definitely give Polly a pat on the head for you for sure. I will. And much love to Polly. Viv says. Oh, yep. Viv says much love to Polly. Michelle Phillips, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Emily, healing thoughts for Polly. Gentle pats. Her baby's mom. Yep, Polly's anxious to get home. I want her home as well. All right, guys. With that, I will say goodbye, and I will leave you as always with Super Ball. My little paralegal hanging out with me. And there's a little Super Ball. The superest of balls. My little Super Ball. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow. All right. Tomorrow we're gonna do. Lori starts at noon our time, noon Eastern. I think 9 o'clock out west. Either 9 or 10, doesn't matter. We'll do her from 12 to 3. I think Judge said from 9 to 12. So we'll do Raul Valley. I think it's going to be about an hour and a half. So we'll start maybe around 10:30. Yeah, we'll probably start around 10:30 tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Have a good day. Have a good one, and thanks for joining us. Bye.